What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day, another episode of the Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about. We thought we were going to watch the Battlefield video, but that happens at like 2:30 p.m. I will not be live during that, so we'll talk about that tonight over on Generation X Gaming with Sarge this evening at 8 p.m. But on this morning's show, we're going to be talking about Microsoft. Studies suggest that folks can't spot the difference between real and AI-generated images, only correctly telling them apart 62% of the time. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Battlefield 6. Rumors suggest that EA's shooter isn't ready for bold move against Call of Duty. We're going to also talk about Battlefield 6 can also steal all the attention with the bombshell announcement this week. So we shall see what happens there. We're also going to talk about Xbox fiscal year 25 quarter 4 gaming revenue is up 10% year over year, driven by the growth of first-party games, with Xbox Games Passing reaching nearly $5 billion. And then we're going to talk about Marvel. We're going to talk about Kevin Feige blames the MCU's decline on overproduction. For the first time ever, quantity trumped quality. So we'll talk about that as well. If you guys like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Oh, and we're also going to review on what happened this morning with the Nintendo Direct. So what's going on, chat? Let me see who's all here. What's going on, Travis? What's going on, Sarge? Z, what's going on? Big Mo, Wonder Rose, good morning. Eclipse, good morning. Roic, good morning. Kylo Green, what's going on? And I think that's all for here. Who's here now? All right. So let's start with the Nintendo Direct, shall we? Because it just happened. And let's be honest, I don't really give a shit. But it is gaming news, so let's talk about it. So Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase July 2025, everything announced. So a brand new Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase has arrived and promises to reveal the new details on games headed to Nintendo Switch and the original system. While we also don't know what games will be featured yet, he also revealed that the show lasts for about 25 minutes. They'll be covering the biggest announcements. Okay, so what they announced. Okay, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment gameplay trailer showcase. Monster Hunter Story 3 Twisted Reflection announced for 2026. Octopath Travelers brings a new HD 2D adventure to Switch 2 this December. We got Madden NFL 26 heads to Switch 2 this August. We got Star Wars Outlaws gets a new gameplay trailer for Switch 2. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Who wants Star Wars Outlaws 2? What is that, 15 months by the time it comes out? No, 13 months. 13 months. Okay, maybe 12 months after the game launched originally on the higher-end systems. Who's going to pay 70, maybe 80? I don't know what the price is. We'll say 70. $70 for a shittier version. Well, better, but shittier version on the other system. Plants vs. Zombies. Replant brings back the beloved tower defense game. That's coming to Switch 2. Yakuza 1 and 2 bringing the update versions for the PlayStation 2 Classic to the Switch 2. Apex Legends arrives on the Switch 2 very soon as well on August 5th. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is headed to Nintendo Switch 2. That'll be a pretty good seller for them, I think. Okay, and I think that's it. So that's everything that they showed this morning. If I'm missing something, let me know in chat. But that's just what IGN's reporting. So obviously, a big one I think is Madden. Not really for Nintendo Switch, but big for Madden, big for people that are Madden heads, because obviously a lot of people on PlayStation and Xbox have been playing this. It's been a really long time since Madden's been on Nintendo, if I'm not mistaken. Did they have a Madden on Wii? I don't remember. I think they did. But so that's a big one. And I think the Apex Legends coming there as well could be a good one, and Dragon Ball is a big one as well. Let's see. Sarge says, tell me a reason for pre-ordering it today. Today's industry, besides you having programmed. Eclipse says, I'm not buying Metal Gear Solid for full price. I've already played that game, and it's a remake. Kylo says it's barely optimized for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox. It's going to be so bad on the Switch too. But yeah, but they don't know. They don't know any better, right? You know what I mean? They don't know. They didn't play it, right? Like I can't imagine a lot of people that are that played it. Let's say you bought Outlaws, which we know a lot of people didn't. Okay, or maybe you rented it from Ubisoft Plus, like I did. You're playing the game on a much better console or PC, and then all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I'm going to spend full price for that game, but now I'm going to play it over on Nintendo Switch. What? Who's doing that? That percentage of people is less than the people that actually bought the game. Eclipse says just like they didn't get Resident Evil 4 for full price. Altered says in conclusion, no new games, just re-releases with $8 tag on it. Maybe $70, $80. Kyle says new Octopath Traveler game. Yeah, but that's not a big seller. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want to diminish that. Octopath Traveler is a good series. I'm just saying it's not going to sell like 15 million copies. You know what I mean? It's like 1.5, 2 million. But then again, the budget for that game is not $350 million, so it's good. Roic says, so basically old games coming to the Switch then. Yep. Yeah. The leftovers. Everything that's come out for the last 5 years on this gen console is now coming on to the Switch too. Eclipse says, yeah, Madden was on the Wii, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I thought it was. Obviously, it wasn't the biggest seller over there. Did you say Chronos? That was a surprise? I don't think they said anything about Chronos here, did they? Nope, they didn't. They didn't say anything about Chronos here. So, blame IGN. Blame IGN. Rogue says Madden doesn't exist to me until they remove the alt team mode, which won't happen. Yeah, that's the moneymaker. They're not moving that. Mo's spamming the hashtags this morning, like every morning. Sarge says, hey, bro, is there a way for me to play inside the grounded server with you offline? Yes, I sent you an invite last night. You got off before me and Dolphin figured it out last night. So you should be able to log in right now, and you should be able to play. Like if you go to multiplayer, then go into your don't put a well, you can put a password. It doesn't really matter. But get past that point, hit continue or load, and then it'll show the save, and it'll say shared world, 30 NSG's original owner, and then it'll say friends 3 or 4. So I invited you, Dolphin, and Fixie. So you guys can all go to the server when I'm not on and play while I'm offline. So, like, for instance, if you're on, right, if you're the only person on, Sarge, and then after this I get on, like, you're the host of our server. And then, like, say you're not on and I get back on, then I'm the host, and then someone else, and then Dolphin's the host. So we're all sharing the same game file. Eclipse says, yeah, because it would also draw your own place, and remember that it was the big feature, which was pretty cool. Travis says, every morning, Mo, don't you ever get tired? No, it's just copy-paste. He's on the phone. Mo's working. Mo's working. He's got stuff to do. He's either cooking barbecue, playing Game Pass, or hashtagging away. That's what he does. Or constantly posts shorts in our general chat and Discord. That's what Mo does. Mo says, which Xbox games dropped on Switch 2? Oh, none. Kyle says, how is Grounded 2? I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. Last night we had a really good adventure. We had to get a hatchery done to grow the ants to get the mounts. And then once we had that done, we had to go to the anthill to get the ants. And that was nice an adventure. We had like 3 eggs and we're trying to run out. Dolphin died, then Sarge died, then I was running my ass off to try to get it out, and then I died. Then we had to go back in and get it. It was good. It was good. Roic says, did you figure out how to get water easily? You can make a dew collector. Yeah, Roic, I played the first one. We didn't unlock it yet. We had to get spider web to then research it to get the dew collector. So we're good. Yeah, we have to make some dew collector. Right now we're in the process of making the silk stuff. Yeah, that's how you did it in the first one. I'll turn Mo's spamming shorts right now. Is he? is Mo spamming shorts right now? Let me check. That means Mo is at work. Yeah, if he's spamming shorts, he's at work. Mo says they are hilarious. I mean, I agree, Mo. I just think you're, you know, it's like YouTube. If I posted every time I made a video and had notifications on, you guys would unsubscribe. I'm just saying. you gotta spread them out. Either that or I'll make a different section. Well, Sarge, water and food are a pain in the ass now because you're just starting the game out. That's the point. It's like this, and then it starts to increase, right? Actually, I'm sorry. It's like this, and then it starts to fluctuate out where you're not always constantly hungry in it because you're leveling up your stuff to get less hungry, or water to diminish. Okay, you start to make the stuff to collect the water. You start to make the stuff that makes the food. We're okay because now we got the jerky. We got the jerky things, so the food won't spoil as fast or at all. All right, we got the water collector, so we can put a reserve inside the water collector. All right, then you have the dew collector, which we have now. We just have to make it. We're waiting for the silk. Oh, and Eclipse. Sorry, last night I don't have notifications on, right? I don't have notifications on my Xbox because I don't want to be live and then things keep popping up because people see it and whatever. So I didn't see your thing last night. I also didn't see my buddy sent me a text and sent me an invite, or he's like invite like 3 hours, like right when we started, and I didn't see any of it. So I apologize to you. I apologize to my bud. So I invited him to the thing. I haven't invited you yet, Eclipse, but I will invite you when I'm off stream. That way, if you want to join the server, you can, mess around the server. And I don't care if you guys want to help with the house. If you want to do your own thing, it doesn't really matter to me. Travis says I might have to get the Chronos. The new Dawn certainly looks better than the Silent Hill F. Who makes a survival horror with no guns? Lame as hell. Dustin says, so fun when you walk like an old person when you accidentally pulled a muscle like 2 years ago. Dustin, I pulled a muscle sitting here last night playing Grounded. I'm sitting in my chair, and all of a sudden I got this massive cramp in my leg. I was like, what the hell is happening? I didn't do anything. I was just sitting here. Roadkill says, what are you doing? Building houses together? Yeah, inside of Grounded 2. Like, we have one base of operations. What I want to do in Grounded right now, anybody that's in our server, find a spot in the other quadrants. Okay, like look at the map, find a good spot, and then build another small base. That way, wherever we are, we don't have to like run back to that one base to like go to sleep. So I don't care if it's just a cookery, a bed, and a flag so we know where it is, okay? But we got to make little points around the park so we don't have to run back to the base all the time. Altern says, don't tell me how to play the game. I'm not telling you. I'm saying it's smart to build other fucking bases so we don't have to run across the map. Just saying. It's more efficient. You do what you want, Altern. But if you're in my server, don't use my stuff. You do what you want. Just don't use the stuff that we're building. You go off in your own little corner. All right, so that's the Nintendo stuff. Yeah, that Battlefield stuff doesn't happen until 2:30 this afternoon. Right? Doesn't happen until 2:30 this afternoon. So it's a little bummer. A little bummer. let's talk about, because we're going to talk a lot about Battlefield. So let's talk about the next story, which is Microsoft study suggests that folks can't spot the difference between real and AI generated images, only correctly telling them apart 62% of the time. Can you do any better? So let's find out. I mean, obviously, we're a little skewed now because we know that they're going to show us a fake one and a real one. So, okay. So it says that's, if you guys look, first of all, if you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, helps us out here. And if you're watching this live, and then you come back later in the day, you're like, okay, I can't watch, I gotta go to work, I gotta do stuff. You come back later. Right after the show, I gotta wait about a half hour to 45 minutes before I can edit it down and get rid of the 20 minutes in front where the music's playing. Okay. So sometimes I get busy doing other things because when I'm done streaming, I go do other stuff. Right. So sometimes you might catch the stream. Okay. And it might not, you met the past broadcast, and it might not have it edited out yet. So if it doesn't have it edited out yet, just go to about 25 minutes and you'll see the footage. Right. And then by that time, I'll cut it out anyway. So, but just giving you a heads up. If you watch this after the fact, about an hour or so after, we're here 10 to about 12:30. After that, around 1:30, 2 o'clock is when I chop it off. And then, because it's got to process. It's got to process the whole thing. It's 2.5 hour stream. So it takes YouTube a little bit to process it. All right. So it's too early in the week for my sense of reality to be changed like this. All right. So here we go. Recent updates. 31st of July, 2025, an earlier version of the article featured a headline: Microsoft studies suggest that folks can't tell the difference between real and AI-generated images about 62% of the time, but can you do any better? This could also read and imply that the participants in the Microsoft study were falsely identified as AI-generated images 62% of the time, when they weren't, in fact, correctly discerning between these diffusion-based images and real photographs 62% of the time. The headline and strapped have both been adjusted for more clearly reflected the fact. Okay, all right. Unless you take a curation of the social feeds and very seriously, a tidal wave of AI slop images and videos have felt inescapable. More worryingly, still also have often more crashing tide servers and highlight with the loved ones struggling to discern AI-generated content from all the slop made by human hands. Even worse still, no one can actually often find oneself fooled by an image spat out by generative model. It's getting difficult. I mean, obviously, if you see a cat holding an axe chasing a dog on a street, you're like, that's AI. You would hope. But your grandmother or your aunt or your neighbor just like, hey, did you see this? Their cat in the neighborhood was chasing a dog with an axe. It's crazy. What's going on in the world? And you're like, that's fake, right? But some people think that's real. So, sound familiar? Turns out it's not just you. According to this new study out in Microsoft AI for Good Research Lab, folks can accurately discern between real and AI-generated images only 62% of the time. Okay, I suppose that's better than simply flipping a coin, but that's still pretty bleak, right? So 48% or 38% of the population cannot distinct between AI and whatnot. This figure is based on 287,000 evaluations from 12,500 participants. Okay, tasked with labeling a selection of images, participants assessed approximately 22 pictures each, selected from a sizable bank, and included both collection of 350 copy free real images and plus 700 diffusion-based images using DALL-E 3, Stable Diffusion 3, Stable Diffusion XL, Stable Diffusion XL in painting, and Amazon Titan version 1. Midjourney version 6, and if you fancy humbling experience, you can also give it the same real quiz for yourself. The Microsoft Research Lab exposed that own in development AI detector, the same bank of images, sharing that these tools were able to accurately identify artificial generated images at least 95% of the time. It says, I understand that Microsoft is a massive, many-limbed company interest all over the place, but it does feel weird for researchers the lab highlight a problem that also other parts of the company has arguably fueled, let alone some of the best part of Microsoft is acting like, but don't worry, we'll still have a tool for that. All right, let's see this. Can we do this? Oh, no, we can't. We can't click on that? How do I do that? Where's the thing? Give it a shot yourselves. All right, hold on. Real or not? Okay, we'll do that after this. All right. To their credit, the research team does also call for more transparency when it comes to AI or generative AI, arguing that the additional measures, content credentials, and watermarks are necessary to inform the public about the nature of media that they consume. Now, I have a question. Sure, they could put a watermark and say, hey, this is AI generated. But somebody that wants to use it maliciously, they don't have to put a watermark. Nothing's stopping them from not putting a watermark on a video, right? Like if someone wanted to show the president of the United States or some celebrity doing something, and it was just some random unannounced, anonymous person on the internet that makes an account, does a video, posts it, they'll be like, did you see that they didn't post a watermark? No, they're not going to do it. Someone with morals and integrity will be like, yeah, this is something fun. I'm going to do it, and I'm just going to let you know it's fake, okay, for a laugh. But then there's other people doing it maliciously that are going to do something and be like, did you see what he did? And know that it's not real, but they're going to do it anyway, right? This is the same thing when we need to ban knives because people can kill people with knives. Well, not everyone's using knives to kill people. Not everyone's using guns to kill people, right? Not everyone's using AI to manipulate and make people, but there are people that do it, right? There are people that do it. It says, however, it's easy enough to crop around a watermark. There you go. And I've noticed no doubt that these something motivated to do so will find a way around similar proposed measures to digital signatures and content credentials. That's right. 100%. Nothing's stopping someone to be like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to stop that. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm not going to do it. They're anonymous. They made an account with their Google email or whatever through a VPN, and then they just throw a picture up there, and they're like, I don't know how that happened, right? There's organizations right now that have been doing it. We had a story just a couple of weeks ago that the news outlet was using ARMA footage, okay, to war propaganda people. Like, get the fuck out of here, okay? They didn't put no watermark on anything. Like, smart people looked at it and went, that's from a video game. That's from a video game, right? There's no difference between what that is and what people are trying to do right now with AI, right? Let's take the test, shall we? Okay. Obviously, we understand that this is a test so they can make stuff more hard to distinguish. You understand that, right? We're partaking in this for the humor part. So here we go. Growing quality of AI images make it harder to spot. Can you tell the image is real or AI generated? Are you ready, chat? We're going to do this together. Okay. Is this real? Hold on. Is this real or fake? Okay. Is this real or fake? I think this is fake. I think this is artificial. Can I make this dark? Yeah, okay. How many of you put a 1 in chat if you think it's real? Put a 2 in chat if you think it's fake. Okay? We'll make it nice and big for you. There it is. Do you think it's real or fake? Take a good look. Give you a nice look at it. Dog says 2. Sorry, chat. I know this is audience participation day, right? I'm gonna go with the majority here. So, if only 2 answer the question, that's what it is. Okay. So, is this real or fake? I'm gonna say it's 100% fake. We'll do a little bit. Wait a little bit more for the slow ones in the back. Someone's running across. Titan's answering questions, and all he has to do is put a 1 or a 2. Mo's answering fake or real instead of putting a 1 or a 2. You guys are great at following directions. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible, and you guys are typing on a keyboard. Mo's like, F-A-K-E. Oh, wait, 2. 2. Okay. All right. Artificial. A. Good job. Next one. Is this real or fake? Is this real or fake? Okay. Picture 2. Picture 2. Okay. Is this real or fake? I think, This one could be tough. I don't know why you would be holding a gun like that in the very front. He could be stabilizing it, but I think I'm going to go with 2. Yeah, I think I'm going to go 2. The finger over here looks a little weird, right? Like, I understand you're going to be grabbing something like this, right? You could. But I'm going to go a little... let me see, anything else? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah, that looks okay. Eye looks okay. We got a split here. I'm assuming that 2, Mo, is that second 2 that you have there? Is that for the first picture or the second picture? Altern has 2. Wonder Rose has 2. Titan has 1. Eclipse has 2. Dog has 1. D-Money doesn't understand 1 or 2, so he says fake as fuck. Jax says 1. So we got 3 1s. We got 4 2s, 5 2s. Oh, yeah, no mag. That's a good catch there. I mean, I said it was. I think it's a fake. So we got butter knives over here. All right, it looks like 2. Looks like 2 is what it is. So we're gonna go artificial. Oh, there you go. So those of you that had 1, you guys were correct. It was real. Okay. Here's picture number 3. Is this real or fake? I'm going to go fake. I'm going to go fake because this right here looks a little weird, right? Are these stairs over here? Because this looks a little odd the way it's bent and shaped. Now, this could be, obviously. I'm gonna go with fake on this one. D-Money's like, listening at work, not paying attention. Sorry. Well, if you're listening, you heard me say 1 or 2. I didn't tell you to get away from to type more things than 1 and 2. You're typing a paragraph. I just asked you to hit 1 or 2. Because I understand you're at work. I understand you're doing things. You might be working out right now and be like, oh, 1 or 2. 1. 1, 2. Could be the curve from the lens. If it was a curve from the lens, though, there would be more curving happening on the outer edges. Right? Because, I don't know, this part right here just looks weird. So I'm going to assume, and then his foot right here, I mean, it looks like he's stepping up on the thing. I'm going to say fake. I'm going to say fake. So we got Mo says 2. Titan says 1. So we're 1 to 1. The reflection doesn't look real for the staircase, so I'm going to go 2. So we got two 2s, 2 1s. I'm going to go with fake. I'm going to go with fake. There we go. Number 3. Or number 4. Number 4. Okay, we got a car here. We got a car here. Is this real or fake? And this is going to be hard. That's going to be hard. Look at the reflections and stuff in this. Now, I'm going to say fake, and here's why. Here's why. Okay? The reflections, yeah. I'm going to say fake because of the reflections. So what we got here is we got the lines on the ground going this direction, right? We got them going this direction. But when you look at the blue car in the background, you got the white lines going the opposite direction. If anything, they would be still going in the same direction. Okay? Going the same direction. That is 1. 2, the curvature of these bars back here, if you see it, how they curve, no bars curve like that. They don't make curving bars like that. They just make them flat. Okay? Now, I'm trying to see anything else that I can notice. Crappy parking. Well, it could be like a car show. They're lined up, type of thing. Also, it looks like up here the letterings of this business is not too clear. So I'm going to go 2. Oh my God, that's real. I failed. Right now we are 50%. We are 50%. That lettering still looked bad. Yeah, look, see, Titan's like, it's just too clean. Parking crapping job. We all thought, right? It all thought we got it. We got it. Except Allturn. Allturn said it was real. Okay. All right. 5th picture here. 5th picture. We got a battleship and a... Okay. I want to say... Here, I'm trying to zoom in a little bit. I can't zoom in anymore. Is this guy floating? Is he floating or is he on a catwalk? I think he's on a catwalk. Like a little thing. We got a lot of anchors. We got a lot of anchors here. Wonder Rose says 1. I'm trying to look. I have to admit this one's really hard. This one's really hard. Oh, I see. There's the catwalk going attached there. Okay, so he's not floating. Okay, I thought this was a thing in the background. This blue thing over here. No, this is a bridge to get into that opening over there. I'm gonna say my first instinct is it's real. My first instinct is real. Everyone thinks it's real. Wonder Rose, Allturn, Titan, all think it's real. All right. Here we go. Did we get it? We got it. Wait, did we get it? Did we get it? What the fuck did it say? I missed it. Was it real or fake? It didn't tell us. All right, wait, what were we before? 13, we got 20%. Yeah, we got it. It was real. Okay. It was real. All right, this one. This is number 6. All right. Number 6. This one. These are hard, man. These are hard because I was thinking they're going to have some weird other ones, not just nature photography over here. I want to say, I'm trying to look at it here. It's got the peak. Say it's going up. I don't know, man. This is a tough one. It comes down. The reflections on the water are pretty good. You got the reflections happening here. The shadows are all going the same direction. You got like the fog in the background. This is a hard one right here. All right, Mo says 2. Allturn says 2. Titan says 1. Okay, Clip says 2. But because reflections are way too good, maybe the camera that's that good, but I'm going to say 2. I want to say this is real. But right now we have 3 2s, 3 2s and a 1. 4 2s and a 1. Would fog reflect off the water? Yeah, I mean, it's a mirror. Yeah, that fog would. My thing is, and you're saying something, Eclipse, is that it's too clear, but you can have water where it's glass like this, right? Where there's no ripples or anything happening, and it's like super calm, and you can get it like this. The problem, I mean, you guys said 2, so we're going to have to go 2. So let's see. Let's see. Nope. See, I thought it was real. I thought it was real, but you guys said 2, so we'll have to go with 2. This one's 100% fake. 100% fake. Oh wait, this could be a picture, like an art, like a painting. Because I'm looking at the faces. The faces, like this person's got a face with inside a thing. Like this person's sideways. There's like 2 people here. There's a person sideways and also this is 100. Like this girl's face is like miniaturized here. You got blurry faces. This has got to be 100% fake. Yeah, this is GTA 6. Yeah, but see, this is a painting. This is a painting. This person's face is blurred, right? Is this someone's artwork that they're doing? Or is this someone, I don't know. There's 2 guys that look identical. You're talking about the purple jacket is what you're thinking of, right? You're thinking of this person and this person? Or you're thinking about this person, and this person with 2 different colors? There's this face over here that looks... I'm going to say 100% fake. I'm going to say fake on this one, guys. Come on, Water Bear. I'm going to say 100%, without a doubt, fake. Number 6, I got right, but obviously... All right, here we go. There you go. Artificial. All right. So here's a perfect example of what you were asking before about maybe the lens is curving it, right? So this is a curve. They're using a different type of lens here. This looks like Grand Central Station. Okay. They're using like a fisheye lens here. And this is why you're getting the whole, outer edge of the stuff. This is going to be hard to tell. This is going to be hard to tell. My first instinct is that this is real. This is real because I've used lenses like this. Doesn't mean shit because artificial intelligence can make it look like this. This is going to be really hard to tell because this could be a still shot of a video of time lapse, meaning this is why you got the blurs and stuff like that. Okay. So I'm going to say, and this is going to be really hard, and see the shadows, how the shadows go both ways. Now, the problem with this is, I don't know. Wait a minute. I'm going to rethink this for a second. So the picture is good because these 2 lighting points here, okay, these 2 lighting points are really bright on the ground. Okay, really bright on the ground, not as bright up on top. Okay. The bright point back here should be, as bright as that is, should be making a 3rd shadow casting on this direction. Most of the shadows are going left and right. Okay. But then here's where it gets confusing. Because this light up here, which is pretty bright, I don't think it's a light. I think it's actually like a skylight. This is not as bright as these over here. Right? And then these guys over here, they have a lot of light coming in from the lights that are coming from whatever's over here. I'm going to say, my real reaction was this was real. I'm going to say it's fake. I'm going to say it's fake. Altern says it's real. Eclipse says it's fake. Titan says it's fake. Mo says it's fake. I'm going to go with artificial. Just because the way the lighting is, and these things are brighter on the ground than they are from the window itself. Now, this could be, man, this is hard. Again, because the light source looks like it's the brightest over here. But for some reason, these are bright, and this is coming from here and here. Unless this is shining this direction. But if it's shining this direction, why would it make this shadow here? Yeah, I'm going to say artificial. Artificial. Here we go. There we go. Whew. Thank God I can explain things. Okay. Number 9. Number 9 here is a aerial shot. This is going to be really hard to tell. This looks like a drawing and not an aerial shot. This building looks really fake. It looks almost drawn. Okay. But I don't know what type of, is this a drawing? Is this an actual photographer, like photography? Is this someone drawing it, like SimCity type of thing? Don't know where the light source is coming from. It looks like the sun's at like noon. All the shadows, maybe 1 o'clock, because you have the shadows on the side of the building over here. But this shadow is coming from this side. I'm going to say this is fake. I'm going to say this is fake. Because this small building over here, it's got a dark shadow on this wall right here. Which, I don't know. I don't know. Everyone else's shadows are on the side over here. This one's got one on the side, but it's also got here. This should be bright. Because where the sun's going, if you look at this big building here, see how this is lit up? This is lit up here. Right where my cursor is. Okay? And then it curves backwards. Meaning the sun is like at an angle over here, right? So because of the angle here, all the shadows should be going the same direction, which pretty much they are on the big buildings. I'm going to say it's artificial. We only had, what, 1 or 2 real ones out of 9? Eclipse says this is Area 51. I think this is artificial. Even though the shadows are pretty consistent, the small ones. Now, I don't know if it's because it's too far back and we can't tell, but I'm going to say artificial. What do you guys think? Mo says 2. Microsoft is a 1. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to say artificial just because, and again, I'm explaining myself, right? Tell you why I think it is. You guys think it's 2? 2, 2, 2? All right, let's see. There it is. Okay, ooh, this one's going to be hard. This is a night shot. Night shots are just shit regardless, right? This is, looks like it's from a security camera. It looks like it's on a top of a building or oil tanker. No, it's not an oil tanker. It's like a helipad. Top of a rooftop of a rave or something. I don't know what's going on here. It looks like there's 2 guys, 3 guys, 4 guys. All right, the light source. This light source is pretty fucking bright here. He's not getting any of it. Right? This light source here is not going on him at all. That's a little sussed, right? Like this red light on this guy's face is shining on him. It's shining on the back of him. It's shining on this guy's face here. It's lighting up over here. Don't know where the light source is coming here. It looks like another one. This is making the shadow. This shadow looks a little funky to me. Here's my this is the giveaway here, right? This is the giveaway here for me. This light source over here on the right side, shining down on this table, is going to cast a shadow over here, okay? But this line right here going across is darker, but yet still pretty bright going through. Meaning this is like, I don't know, some painted thing on the roof or whatever, okay? But it's still too bright. And then where is this light coming from? Right here. I think this is fake. I think this is fake. One, because this bright light that's on him right here is only shining on him, very rarely on his face, and it's not hitting this guy at all. At all. And because of this, this light would make this shadow much less. Much less. Look at the red light over here on the left. You see how it's doing to the ground around it? That's not happening over here. This bright light that's in this guy's hands, whatever it is not making anything on the ground here. I'm going to say artificial. This is Epstein footage. Yeah. What's going on, Robert Jones? Altern says 2 or 1. Mo says 2. Titan says 2. I'm going to say 2. I'm going to say 2. What is this, Battlefield 6? No. No, this is not Battlefield 6. All right, I'm going with 2. Oh, my God. That was real. Now, look. I'm going in and I'm describing stuff. And I'm describing stuff from my experience, as Water said, with cameras and stuff. But some of it just doesn't make sense. That light source had nothing on the ground. That's crazy. Here's another one. This is going to be hard. We got the other car one wrong. Let's see about this one. It's so hard to tell. Where's this reflection coming from? You see this right here? This is like some sort of reflection of legs or something inside the window here. Right? You see the red back there? And there's like some legs here. It's got Xbox on the back. The words look okay. They look clean. I don't know. This one's even got the little shine right here off the front fender. I want to say this is real. It's even got the man, fucking AI's getting good. If this is fake, it's got the reflections beaming off the hubcaps onto the ground. You see it? You know, when it gets focused, it's like hitting that spot and then giving that little light around it. You got the muffler. The muffler's dark here, a lighter one because there's multiple lights hitting it. Okay. That's the headrest. There's no headrest. That's just the seat. Mirror looks okay. What's throwing me off is these like legs or whatever. Oh, I see it. This right here is this guy here. Oh man. This is hard. I don't know about this one, chat. I think my original reaction is that this is real. But I'm kind of going against my first thought. I want to say this is fake. I don't know why. I'm looking at it. Everything about this tells me it's real. It's hard, man. You guys say real. I'll go real. There you go. My gut said real, but I started second guessing myself. Okay. All right, this next one. Let's see. All right, well, obviously, first things first, I want to say fake off the bat, and here's why. Okay. There's no camera guy or anything in this guy's glasses, and he's staring directly at the camera. That's my first thing. Now, I can't zoom in anymore. So I'm going to say fake just because I can't see a camera guy or anything in his glasses. That and this guy looks like he has his chin strap across his face over here. This guy's face is a little distorted, but, you know, the gun is a little weird over here, but they all look the same. Yeah, I'm going to say fake. Let's go artificial. There you go. Okay, number 13. This looks fake as well. This looks fake. 100%. Feet are fucked up. Feet are fucked up. The way they're standing. Hat looks too big on this dude. I'm going fake. If this is real, we're in trouble. Right? If this is real, we're in trouble. I think this is fake. Like, yeah, the feet are giving it away for me. Yeah. Okay. This one's going to be interesting. This is 14. Space available for lease. Okay. Sprinklers, and that looks kind of blurry. I don't know why. This guy's eating. You can't tell anything on the ground. I'm going to say fake. And here's why. Okay. Now, this is a little weird. And I'm saying this, but I can't really tell. But the reason I'm saying this is, you see where this guy's standing? And you see where his reflection is? Okay. And then you look at the woman where she is compared to his. Now, reflections are weird, right? Reflections are weird. But the spacing from how far she is from the window here to here and to here looks off to me. Right? And then I'm also trying to see if I see any of these dots, these gums on the ground inside the reflections. And I don't. I don't see them around him. But it's kind of hard because they're too close to the thing and we're not far enough out. And then this one's too tiny to see in this area. There's supposed to be another woman like right back over here. I want to say this is fake. I've only gotten, 2 wrong so far? Where I disagree? Where's the reflection? 1, but with a doubt for a guy standing eating. Yeah, his arm looks a little T-Rexy. But that could just be the angle. Two, three, 4. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go artificial. To make photos of COVID is my question. Yeah, I think it also should be seeing the reflection of the guy eating also. He could just be. Oh, that's true. That's true. The guy eat. Oh, wait a minute. We didn't see this. Hold up. New information. Who is this person right here? That person should be like standing right about here. Who's this person right here in the reflection? That person should be like right about here. I'm going to say fake. There's a person standing right here, which means they should be right about here. Because this. Oh, wait. Is that her? Oh, wait a minute. That's her. I'm calling fake. It's fake. Argus says, no, based on the angle, the eating guy reflected would be forward, out of frame. Well, based on this angle, right? Based on the angle, his angle should be the same as his, right? Meaning his angle, there should be some sort of reflection right here of something of him right here, right? Just the back end of this pillar. If she's here and he's there and she's here, I'm going to go fake. It could be real, obviously. It's a 50-50 shot. Based on my assessment, I say this is artificial. Damn it! Damn it! All right, last one. Okay, we need this. We need this one to be the stat. Right? To be the stat. This looks a little fake. This looks fake over this picture. Like he looks photoshopped inside this. You see what I'm saying? Could be the different filter they're using. Her eye looks a little weird. The mask is riding up on her. Him grabbing this poster board. I don't know. It doesn't look like it's bending correctly. What does it say on the sign? Justice? Is it justice for all? Is that what it's supposed to say? Justice for all? This just looks fake. I don't know. What do you think, chat? Titan says 2. Rowick says 2. Game Pass gave me power to know the picture was real. Looks Photoshop. Counts as AI. I mean, if it's Photoshop, I mean, I guess that would be fake, right, Titan? That would be fake. The 4 almost looks alike. All in the small reflection. Oh, you're talking about the 4 almost looks like it was all in the reflection. No, this is not the same as the. A lot of pink here, which means a lot. And it's also big 2025. There's also a lot of Zionists in the fact it might have to go real. My sus is going on here. These are the points I think it might be fake, but I don't know. Right? This is just my guess because I can't tell. Is that this arm looks kind of weird over this pink? Okay, just weird. There's no shadows because they're behind a building and you can see the shadows, so they're all just shaded the same, which is fine. Him holding the sign here and here, the way it's bending could be, but it feels like his thumb is not giving, and then her eye, like this mask is like eating her face, right? Which it could be. Because that's how she had a big mask, maybe. I want to say fake, but it 100%, I wouldn't be surprised if this is real. I'm looking at shadows. I want to say fake. The shadow casts across here, but the sun is over here because this is casting a shadow this way. I want to say fake. Yeah, her mask, I think she's the biggest giveaway if it is fake. But if it's real, here we go. Let's see. And if we hit this, I think we're at the 63%, right? Nope. It was real. It was real. So congratulations. You identified 60% of the images correctly. The score puts you at 33%. So we are the norm. We are the norm. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yep. That's crazy. So there you go. Ready or not, AI's coming, and only 60. Oh, we were right 60% of the time. We were right 60% of the time. What's the link for this? It is here. I'll put it in the. It's called realornotquiz.com. Here, I'll put it in the chat for you. There you go. Right, Travis. It's exactly. I was just going to say that. I was literally just going to say that. He says, "Remember, this is going to be the worst it will ever be." 30. That's right. Right, Eclipse? My whole time looking at stuff. Now, I want to make it clear, right? I gave the reasons why I thought it was real or why I thought it was fake. I went into detail on why I think it's real or fake, and look at that. We were only right 60% of the time. Okay? I had I think two that I picked the opposite of you guys, but still as a group, we were at 60%. Because there were some of you that picked opposite of me. So I think maybe we'd be about 65, maybe 66%. Argus says, "Congratulations, we aren't retarded. And we may last longer in the Terminator. AI takes over." Well, only 60% of us might make it. So. Travis says, "It's nice knowing you guys. Someone tell me it's time for a final countdown." The soldier one was easy because you looked in the glasses and I was like, there's no camera guy. Who's taking the picture? That was the one that was the easy one for me. The car ones were the ones that were freaking me out because reflections are really hard. Reflections are really hard because when you're standing there taking the picture, you see your peripheral vision. You can see more of what the picture's seeing. So you could tell if you're taking the picture or not. But if you're just seeing a picture, you don't know where the light source is coming from. You don't know where the angles are. You don't know. An angle looks completely different when you're 3 inches away from it or if you're 10 feet away from it. You know what I mean? All right. Let's go to some Battlefield news here. Got a couple of Battlefield stories. Okay. Battlefield 6, rumors suggest that EA's shooter isn't ready for bold move against Call of Duty. If you guys like what we do here, we just do news articles, have conversations. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Right? So Battlefield 6, rumors suggest EA's shooter isn't ready for a bold move against Call of Duty. Battlefield 6 doesn't appear to be willing to make a bold move, increase the price of point for $80, and there's also a good chance the decision is directly correlated to the incoming head-to-head battle with Call of Duty, Black Ops 7. While neither Black Ops or Battlefield 6 nor Black Ops 7 has confirmed the release dates, as of writing this, rumors suggest the former will be released in October, followed by the later's launch just 1 month later in November. Call of Duty and Battlefield are two of the biggest series in the first person. Can I just say, Call of Duty and Battlefield is like comparing PlayStation and Xbox right now. Call of Duty is sales up here. Battlefield is sales down here. PlayStation sales are up here. Xbox sales are down here as far as consoles, right? Like, they're not really the same. They're both first-person shooter games. They're both consoles, right? But they're extremely different in the amount of people that are playing this and playing that. Right, so Call of Duty and Battlefield are two of the biggest series in first-person shooter space, but Activision annual releases often dominate not just for respective genre, but across the entire video game industry. Call of Duty rotation between two different development studios, allowing the franchise to release a new entry each year, but the same cannot be said for Battlefield. The last time EA published a new installment of Battlefield series was 2021, with the disastrous launch of Battlefield 2042. While it also looks like EA is looking to get the series back on track with Battlefield 6, the studio still doesn't appear to be confident enough to make one bold play against the Call of Duty. And why would you? Look, EA has always tried to compete with Call of Duty. They even tried to do the 1-2 punch when Titanfall originally came out, right? Titanfall and Battlefield, they try to do the 1-2 punch before Call of Duty, and they couldn't do it. Somebody has $60 in their hands, now 70, and they're like, what am I going to buy? Am I going to buy Battlefield? Oh, there's a new game, Titanfall. Looks interesting. Call of Duty, right? Like, that's what happens. So they've always tried to get the money instead of not try to stop you from getting Call of Duty, try to slow you down from getting Call of Duty. It's like, if I use my money now, can we stop them? And if they're going to spend another money, we got Titanfall there. And it just destroyed both those games because less people bought it and less people bought Titanfall. And Titanfall's always been that game that people love. It's like a cult classic in a movie, but never, ever, really beloved by many. It should have been much bigger than it is. It's one of the better campaigns in a first-person shooter game. And yet, very few people have played it. It says, with many publishers increasing the price of their titles this year, such as Nintendo setting the high price point of $80 for Mario Kart World on Nintendo Switch 2, fans have been patiently waiting to see if the favorite franchise will be following the suit, as Battlefield series hasn't had a new entry for the past 4 years. The reveal of Battlefield 6 had many wondering if EA would also take part of the price increase trend. Thankfully for the studio CEO, Andrew Wilson recently confirmed that EA titles remain at $70 for the time being. While fans will also never be privy to why those decisions are made, there's also a good chance that EA isn't willing to price fans out of the Battlefield 6 with the launching of alongside with Call of Duty game, which is also isn't increasing the price this year. If I was Battlefield 6, you come in $60. You come in $60. You don't go in at 70. You come in at 60. But they won't do that. EA won't do that. They're like, nope. The rule is it has to be 70. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, I'm not picking it up for 70. Okay, I'll wait for it to go on sale. Okay, I don't need Battlefield, okay, day one. I'll even wait till it goes on a Game Pass. I don't need a full-price game. I don't care how awesome and amazing it is, because the campaign's the campaign. Once the campaign's done, I'm playing PvP online. I can wait. I don't care that somebody has all the guns unlocked while I'm playing them and they're killing me because they're using cheat codes or whatever else. I don't need to pay $70 for your game. Right? If you want a lot of people to buy this game, if you want to hit your 100 million people, okay, users, then don't charge $70. Charge $60. But they won't do it. You won't do it. You will not do it. Okay, with Call of Duty often dominating EA, it's also wise not to increase the price of Battlefield 6, as it would simply be giving Activision an even easier chance to coming out on top. With Call of Duty fans growing increasingly tired of unrealistic cosmetic items, hackers, and poor seasonal updates, there's never been a better time for Battlefield to strike. I love how I said 2 Call of Duties ago, when they started putting the skins in, I said it's lost its identity, it's going to hurt the brand, and now more and more articles are coming out saying that unrealistic cosmetic items and hackers and people are just tired of it. But, what do I know? It says, it may be early days, but both Battlefield 6 and Black Ops 7 appear to have those two shooters are talking very different approaches to their themes and overall style. While Black Ops 7 will reportedly allow Call of Duty fans to carry forward all of their cartoon-themed operator skins and other outlandish cosmetic items, in recent Battlefield 6 leaks shows that the series seems to be opting for a much more grounded approach with the weapons and character skins. This could also be a make-or-break element for the series, as a majority of Call of Duty community continues to beg for more realistic themes. So only time will tell, but $70 price point, excessive testing, and play testing, rumored betas of the ground approach, also weapons on the cosmetic items, could finally see Battlefield overtake Call of Duty. I don't know if you'll ever see Call of Duty get beat by Battlefield. I just don't think it that way because, again, the player bases on both of them are completely different. Completely different, right? People that play Battlefield want to play with friends and people. People that play Call of Duty want to play with friends but don't want to actually play with friends, right? They're playing the game at the same time as people, but they're not actually playing with people. They're going for kill streaks, kill-death ratios. They're doing everything for themselves, okay? Where Battlefield guys that come over from Call of Duty find out that, oh, yeah, it's not that fun if I'm playing by myself because it doesn't really matter about kill streaks or anything like that. At the end of the game, you can look at the scoreboard and be like, yeah, I'm the best player in the game, but you have more fun playing Battlefield if you're working as a team, which Call of Duty players can't, because most Call of Duty players are younger and they're individual. Think basketball to football, right? Basketball, you're playing with a team, but most people want to be individuals in basketball. Where if you're playing football, you need a team. You can't be an individual, right? Because you have to throw the ball. In basketball, I can keep the ball, I can hog the ball, I can shoot the ball, I can do everything myself. The quarterback has to throw the ball. The quarterback has to give the ball to run. The people have to defend in football. Okay, that's a team sport. Battlefield's a team sport. Call of Duty is the NBA. Solo. Okay? And I think that's the major difference. But we'll see what happens if the Call of Duty crowd that's tired of all the skins of... Again, they're all tired of the skins, but they're also paying for the sloths and the Beavis and Buttheads and the Godzilla skins and the King Kong monkey gloves. I don't think those people are coming over to Battlefield. Now, they like spending money. They like spending the money, $80 here, $50 there for cosmetic skins. They might come over to Battlefield because they just might want to spend $70 on a brand new game and then never touch it after the campaign, or never touch it because there's no cosmetic skins to purchase in that game. Who knows? Let's go to the next story with Battlefield. Battlefield 6 can steal all the attention with a bombshell announcement this week. Okay. So with somewhat quite week of a world of video games, Battlefield 6 has a perfect opportunity to grab attention of gamers around the world to make headlines with the open beta announcement. Rumors for the potential open beta for Battlefield 6 have been circulating for the past couple of weeks, but with fans patiently waiting to find out more, EA has a perfect opportunity to drop a major bombshell for the community and shadow drop the beta this week. That would be interesting if they, 2:30 this afternoon, all of a sudden say, hey, open beta this weekend. That would be interesting, right? Some fans have already been lucky enough to go hands-on with the Battlefield 6 via the closed playtest earlier this year, which results in a ton of leaked footage making it way onto social media. It's not leaked. If it was leaked, they would pull it. If they didn't want it out, they would pull it. But they want it out there. So after the last entry of the series was massive disappointment for many, fans are seeming far more optimistic about the shooter's future after witnessing some epic moments from the closed playtest. Of course, watching footage and playing are two very different experiences, which is why so many fans are eager to see EA announce open beta for Battlefield 6. And with the very little going on right now, there's never been a more perfect time for such a bombshell announcement. Aside from a highly anticipated launch of Grounded 2, this week relatively quiet in terms of new releases, which is why it would be a perfect opportunity to shadow drop an open beta for Battlefield 6, as it's also been for 4 years since the last Battlefield game, giving fans the opportunity to go hands-on with the next entry to sure to make headlines, get the community talking. Of course, nobody knows if EA was also in store for fans, or what it has in store for fans, but if it's going to reveal the shadow drop, an open beta will likely go incredibly soon. Perhaps. Okay? It says tomorrow could be massive for Battlefield 6, which is today. Could be a massive thing for Battlefield 6. After an epic reveal trailer earlier this month, EA is gearing up for to show fans more Battlefield 6 with multiplayer reveal on July 31st at 2:30, I think, today. Although it remains unconfirmed as how long the reveal will be, it currently listed on YouTube as an event and not a trailer. This means that the open beta is on the cards, and EA, there's a strong chance the announcement comes alongside the shooter's multiplayer reveal tomorrow, which is today. So for those of you that are eager to tune in and see what their also fuss is all about, the event kicks off at 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Central, and it could also 8 a.m. Central. Oh, 8:30 p.m. Sorry, CEST. Watch live on the official Battlefront YouTube channel. Many of the fans are going to be tuning in for the EA plans to announce the long-rumored Battle Royale mode for Battlefield 6. Although the mode hasn't been officially just yet, there's also been a lot of leaks surrounding it. One of the most prominent pieces of evidence regarding the Battlefield 6 Battle Royale mode has been leaked, introducing cutscenes, practically confirming that the identity of it has also been thrown around in EA. Recent rumors of the credible insider has claimed that it also could be months after Battlefield 6 launches, which we talked about the other day. Okay. What do you guys think? If they came out, what do we think the possibility is? Battlefield 6, 2:30 this afternoon. Maybe it's an hour long, showing you what it is. Now, there's been rumors of saying it's, I think, 3 hours long. Yeah, which is this right here. Right? Battlefield 6 reveal will contain 3 hours of multiplayer gameplay. Okay. If they have 3 hours of gameplay, that means you would be pretty confident that your game is pretty solid, right? So if that's the case, and then do you think during the 3 hours they would say, "Hey, we're dropping it this weekend for beta test"? Is that something plausible? I mean, obviously it could be plausible, but do we think it's actually likely to happen? Okay. It says details about Battlefield 6 multiplayer reveal event have been revealed, and it appears that players will also get to see over 3 hours of pure Battlefield 6 gameplay. So it goes from 2:30 to 5:30. Battlefield 6 talk of the town at the moment, with every eye waiting to see what EA and DICE have been cooking up with the upcoming installment. We have received small glimpses of the gameplay. I haven't watched any of the gameplay, I'll be honest with you. Zero. I've watched zero gameplay. That's how excited I am of it. I know every day we talk about it because it's in the news cycle, but I have yet to look at any of the footage besides what they showed like months ago when it first leaked. I watched some like inside the town thing for like a second, and I went, nah, I'm good. It looks like Battlefield 3. But we'll see. All right, Battlefield 6 multiplayer reveal details revealed. Battlefield 6 multiplayer gameplay revealed will arrive on July 31st, which is today, at YouTube and Twitch, spotted by BF Bolton on X. The event will begin with the multiplayer developer deep dive, which will take the players through the classes, vehicles, maps, and modes. The reveal will also feature some surprises. Moreover, the players should expect more than 3 hours of live gameplay from over 400 creators checked on the list of creators participating in the Battlefield 6 multiplayer reveal below. So there you go. That means they're pretty confident about their game, right? You would think they're pretty confident about it. If they're willing to do 3 hours. 3 hours of gameplay. It says, ahead of Battlefield 6 multiplayer reveal, a portion of the trailer was surfaced online. The portion provides players cinematic representation of what to expect from the game's multiplayer mode, including jet flying, tanks shooting at helicopters, destruction all around, and much more. In other news, check out the Insider Gaming exclusive report on Battlefield 6. And then we have one more. Exclusive Battlefield 6 close and open beta dates revealed. Okay. Insider Gamers learned that the Battlefield 6 beta will have two betas in the month of August, which will be an open and a closed beta. According to sources who wished to remain anonymous, as they were also not authorized to discuss Battlefield 6 beta plans, there'll be 2 beta during August, starting with the closed beta on August 7th. August 7th and 8th will be the closed beta, where codes can be obtained through Twitch drops from one of the hundreds of content creators streaming. And the event during multiplayer reveal, or codes, can also be obtained by pre-ordering the game. It's believing among the sources that the beta will also be open on August 9th and 10th as an open beta phase. It's said that the pre-orders of Battlefield 6 will be live during the Battlefield 6 multiplayer reveal event, but that's not all. A second open beta on Battlefield 6 will also take place on August 14th through the 17th. As of yet, it's currently unclear when or if the free-to-play Battle Royale mode will be mentioned in the official capacity at the event, or if EA is saving the announcement for later down the road. Battlefield 6 is scheduled to release on October 10th on the Xbox Series S, X, PlayStation 5, and PC for $69. All right. That was a lot of Battlefield stuff just crammed down in there. Let me see what you guys are saying. Altern says Battlefield 6 should be $50. That way they can undercut Call of Duty. Might be a smart plan, but I think EA knows that look what they're doing. They're taking hundreds of content creators, right? Hundreds of content creators promoting this thing left and right. Leaks, right? The leaks. Come on. We know this is planned, right? In every way, shape, or form. And I'm not hating them on this. I'm just trying to tell people, like, wake up a little bit, right? There's no leaks. This is planned the way it is. And this plan went into motion once Grand Theft Auto said, hey, we're not coming out later this year, and they pushed it till next year. They said, hold up, this is a perfect opportunity. I talked about that they would release in October, November. Earlier this year, this is before Grand Theft Auto announced when they were coming out. People were speculating it would come out in the end of the year, okay? I said it all depends on where Grand Theft Auto has, because they don't want anything to do with it. And now, as soon as they announced Grand Theft Auto was pushed next year, did you notice that there was starting to be leaks left and right? All of a sudden, there was open talk about how there's this closed beta happening with Battlefield. Leaks are happening left and right. Now they're talking about the trailer that happened last week. Now they're doing the multiplayer this week. They have 100 people with 3 hours of content. There's Twitch drops and different things that they're going to be talking about. Open beta, closed beta. This is all planned, man. Nothing ever is leaked. If it's actually leaked, they pull that shit down because they don't want anyone to know because they're not ready. They're ready. Well, you hope they're ready. I hope they're ready. I can't imagine EA doing another EA, what they did for 2042, but who knows? Travis says, I have a question, but is it time for a third party here? Is it time for a third party here? What do you mean? Like a separate game, like a different one from Battlefield and from Call of Duty? Plenty of games out there. They're just not as popular. Travis says, see, I hate team sports. I hate hearing, oh, well, I lost because we didn't throw the ball right. Or if you didn't, who's to blame? You blame a team. You blame a team. Right? That's the whole point. That's why there's team sports and non-team sports. That's why people, when they play team sports, they know they're on a team. If you don't want to play team sports, go play darts. Go play bowling. Right? Like it. Eclipse says, I actually didn't buy Titanfall 2 because the first Titanfall was so bad, it pulled me off at 2. Having campaign where it's also pretty much playing multiplayer, but with bots. Eclipse also says, see, that's not being toxic. The only thing that you can also change in the game is if you no one else. You're always the same factor in every game. Let's see. You guys are going back and forth. Jason says it depends on the game. In Rivals, the DPS players can have a positive kill death ratio like 14-4. But the other team, DPS, is 30-4, and this is clearly DPS is not doing their part. Correct, but that's a team sport, right? You can have individual goals in that, but that whole game is a team sport. If you're going out and just doing your stuff and not, like, if I'm a healer, obviously you have to heal, right? But if you don't want to heal and you want to go for kills and your team's dying, you're probably going to lose because you're being selfish because you want the DPS. I totally get what you're saying. In Rivals, it's a different thing. Rivals actually a pretty good comparison to basketball. Basketball, when a team works together, they win. When an individual tries to outdo everybody else, most of the time they lose, right? Like even Michael Jordan, when he was playing basketball, he was shooting 40, 50 points a game, but there was still Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant and everybody else that was still playing pretty good to keep that lead, right? With the words from a goat, there's no I in team, but that's a me. Warbear says a good team in Rivals destroys any individual group of players easily. Play against a stack of IDCs, and what do you individually? You're going to lose. Right, 100%, right? If you're playing a team game, you could just play like this is why it's different in competitive and different in casual. If you're a casual person playing a game, right? If you're a casual player and playing quick match, you're like, I'm just going to do my dailies. You don't really care, right? You're saying team loses or wins doesn't really matter, okay? But if you're playing competitive and you're like, I'm just doing my dailies, and you're not pulling your team, guess what? Your team's gonna say, get the fuck out of here, right? Or get on board. That's what happens. Eclipse says, so what about all these news about Game Pass making $5 billion? That's crazy talk. I have that right here. We have that going on next. So we'll talk about that in just a couple minutes. Yeah, so we'll see what happens as far as is Battlefield. I know we're in that motion. We're in the honeymoon phase right now, right? We're hyping it up. Brand new game. People are hyping it up. They're like, Battlefield's the greatest, latest, greatest thing. I feel like Battlefield right now is like a Marvel film being promoted to us. This is the greatest Battlefield that we've ever created. And then you get the Battlefield and you're like, it's just Battlefield. Battlefield 1's still better, right? And again, I know I'm being maybe hyperbolic, or maybe I'm more negative towards this game because I love it so much. And I talk about criticism all the time. I give this game a lot of criticism because they haven't proven anything to me. They came out with Battlefield 5, screwed it up at launch, came out and then fixed it. Obviously, it's a much better game now, right? Came out with Battlefield 2042, screwed it up at launch, fixed it later, right? Took 14 months, 18 months to fix the actual game. So going into this, it's like, who do I trust? Do I trust my gut, or do I trust the company that's dicked us over the last 2 times? Do you know what I mean? Waterbear says, I wonder what the overhead monthly is for Game Pass. Also, Battlefield looks good from the gameplay I saw last night. Ray says, I will not buy Battlefield. I like Battlefield 1 and 5 because there's also settings. If you want Modern War, I will also watch the news. Well, here's the thing. And I'm not saying you, Ray, but a lot of people, I'll put myself included in this, right? You might get caught up in the wave. And what I mean by that is, you're like, I would never, if a flood happened, you'd be like, that wouldn't happen to me. I would get up on the roof and I would be safe, right? But then sometimes the wave comes in real fast and it knocks your feet out from underneath you, and then you're just in the water, okay? You get the hype wave comes, right? The hype wave is coming. Battlefield comes right now. They're going to show you footage. You'll be like, it doesn't look that good. But then your friends start talking. Your friends start saying, hey, did you see Battlefield? The new Battlefield looks good. All right, I'm going to get that game. And you're like, oh, I got it. Oh, I got it too. I'm so excited. The wave comes at you real fast, and all of a sudden you're like, all right, I'll play it. Right? I'll give it a shot. I'll play the beta. Right now, it's an open beta. Now you're playing the open beta, and you think to yourself, it's all right. I don't know if I really like it or not. And then all of a sudden you're like, everyone's like, oh, we're going to get it. Day one, now you're playing other games with your friends, and then all of a sudden, now none of your friends are playing with you because they're playing the latest, greatest Hype Fest game, which would be Battlefield. And you're like, I guess I'll get it. And it's short-lived. Then you start playing the game, the wave comes and goes, and you're like, why did I buy this game? We're not even playing it that much anymore. I played a couple of hours, and then I put it down. The wave comes real fast at you. Waterbear says, someone leaked the multiplayer gameplay last night, and I can say that it's real, and COD this year is cooked. It got leaked. It got leaked, Water. Someone leaked it. Not planned. Eclipse says, yeah, I hope I can play the beta if there is if it's any better. Jason says, oh, damn. Drops next week. Was that Street Fighter 6? And I got to order a new lever to repair my flight stick. Waterbear says, not going to lie, I miss the old school Battlefield. I will buy, will I buy this day one? I'll play this trial first and make a decision based on how that flows. Right? Right? I mean, I've said it. I've been on. I said, I don't know if I'm going to buy it. I said, this will probably be the first Battlefield I've never bought. Well, technically, never played, I said. Because I didn't buy 2042. 2042, I played on Game Pass. So that's the first Battlefield I've never bought. Okay? I played it after it came on Game Pass, which I said, I won't touch the game until it comes to Game Pass. And it did. Right? I was right about coming to Game Pass, and then I was, I played a lot. I played over 100 hours. Okay? Enjoyed it. But at the same time, I didn't buy it when it came out. They lost me as a customer with the money. Now, Battlefield 6 comes out. I said, I don't know if I'm going to buy it. Right? So, I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever... I will try the open beta. If I can get an open beta or closed beta, I will give you a shot and play it. And then give you my actual thoughts on it playing it. Right? If I don't play it myself, I can only give you the thoughts of watching other people play it. And I'll give you my thoughts there. But I'll be honest, I'm very skeptical because of EA and because of DICE, what they did for the last two. I'm very, very skeptical, okay, of this one coming out and being great when it comes out. Now, if it's great when it comes out, fantastic. But then there's still the other problem. The other problem is it a Battlefield anymore with the Battle Royale once the Battle Royale comes out? Because if 100 million people come in to play the Battle Royale, and I've said this in the past, is that Battlefield? No. No, it's not Battlefield. It's Battlefield by name only. Mo says Water Bear COD and Cook never belong in the same sentence, and no matter what it is, it's coming out, right? It's true. Mo says all EA games come to Game Pass, right? But how fast? If it was shitty, it's a year, right? If it's great, it takes longer. All right, let's go to the next one, which is Xbox. Xbox fiscal year 25, quarter 4 gaming revenue is up 10% year over year, driven by the growth in the first-party games, with Xbox Games Pass reaches nearly $5 billion in annual revenue for the first time. $5 billion Game Pass revenue. So hold on a second. We've got $5 billion. That's 500. That's 5 million. That's 50. That's 5 billion divided by. That's 250,000. No. That's if it's $20 a person times what is it? 35 million is the last time they said something. It's 700. That's 700 times 12. That's 8. So that's not it then, right? Let's try to figure that out. If it's 5 billion divided by 12? No. All right. Eclipse says, but Xbox is dead. I keep hearing that. Yeah, I don't know where people are getting the dead from. I saw, it's Alex's video this morning, and he brought up Dreamcast guy talking about how PlayStation, how it's a very smart move to put their games on other platforms. And I just started laughing hysterically because I was just like, did this man just say that with PlayStation moving their games to other platforms is a smart idea, but when Xbox does it, it's fucking Xbox is dead? I was laughing so hard. I was like, what is happening? I was so confused. I was laughing so hard. I was like, this Dreamcast guy is on. I don't know what he's on, man. I don't make content against other content creators, but when you come out and say Xbox going this and saying it's Xbox is dead, and then PlayStation's doing it and it's smart, it's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Anyway, if you guys like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning to noon Eastern. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. So Xbox fiscal year 25, quarter 4, gaming revenue is up 10% year over year, driven by growth in the first-party games with Xbox Game Pass reaching nearly $5 billion annually. Microsoft shared financial details for the fiscal year of quarter 4 on Wednesday, revealing the gaming revenue is up 10% year over year. More specifically, Xbox content is service revenue is up 13% year over year, with the company notching growth into the first-party games and Xbox Game Pass as drivers for the increase. Meanwhile, the hardware revenue is down 22% year over year. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy that that the consoles are down, but the revenue is up? That's crazy, right? As a whole, Microsoft reaches $76.4 billion in revenue for the quarter, with $27.2 billion in net income, up 18% and 24% year over year. Xbox Game Pass is growing again, while overall game sales are strong. This marks the third quarter in a row where Microsoft reported growth in Xbox Game Pass, following similar mentions in the fiscal year 25, quarter 2, and fiscal year 25, quarter 3. It also tracks and comments the video game analyst Matt Piscatella, who noted that the video game subscription spending reached an all-time high in the U.S. in June of 2025. May and June, if I'm not mistaken, right? Obviously, that includes other non-mobile gaming subscriptions, but it's also still abundantly clear that Xbox Game Pass remains a significant piece of the pie. As of why As for the why, it is worth noting that the Microsoft has launched a truly staggering number of first-party games over the last few months, with April seeing the arrival of compulsion games, South of Midnight, as well as Bethesda Game Studios, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remaster. Meanwhile, May brought in id Software's Doom: The Dark Ages. Outside the first-party games, it's also been a great period for third-party additions for Xbox Game Pass, with Sandfall Interactive, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, seeing critical acclaim upon its launch. Sales are also being bolstered by different ports of Xbox titles and PlayStation 5, with Forza Horizon 5, Indiana Jones: The Great Circle coming to the Sony gaming platform in April. Both have sold well in Forza 5 and reported the best-selling game of the console in 2025. Speaking of the earnings call, accompanying the financial results, Microsoft CEO Nadella specifically praised the launch of Oblivion Remastered, also praising the arrival of Forza Horizon 5 on PlayStation 5. Nadella also noted that the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 has passed 50 million players since launch, with Xbox Game Pass annual revenue reaching a nearly $5 billion for the first time. Oh, but Game Pass is going to destroy, right? It's not going to work out for them. $5 billion for the first time. Who would have thought? These results make it even more infuriating when Microsoft decided to again lay off talented workers across Xbox gaming division and cuts a team like Turn 10 and King, while also innovative as Stuttered is Perfect Dark, or Initiative, sorry. Initiative was shuttered by Perfect Dark canceled. Rare's long decision at Everwild was also canceled. I love how they look at this, though, right? They always look at this as, all these games were canceled, right? And sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it's a good thing. Look at Concord, right? That game came out and closed. How come no one talks about how bad that is? Where they came out, spent all that money, and closed it in 13 days. 12 days? Okay. But yet they keep talking about Starfield and how it's not successful. And yet 10 to 12 million people play Starfield. They keep talking about Game Pass and how Game Pass is not making any money and their subscription model is not going up, right? They keep talking about all of these things, and I'm not trying to defend Xbox here. I'm just stating facts. Okay? There's studios that close down that bring out actual games, and they're worried about the games that didn't take the cut, right? Thousands of people try out for a position. One person gets the job. They talk about the 999 people that didn't get the job instead of the person that got the job, okay? Because poor worries me, right? Certain games make it, certain games don't. But for some reason, they keep worrying about the people that got canned instead of saying, well, that game didn't make it. It didn't make the cut. It didn't make the cut. Sorry. Some games make the cut, and then they don't make the cut while they're here. Marvel's Avengers, Anthem, right? Those games didn't make the cut. They lasted a little bit, and they didn't make the cut afterwards. But they still made some of their money back. They made something back. You look at Redfall. People are pissed off at Redfall was out. They're like, this is a piece of shit. Yeah, they should have closed it. But they're mad that it got released. And now they're mad because Perfect Dark didn't get released. Well, if Perfect Dark came out like Redfall, would you be mad? Probably. So they said, you know what? Let's just cut it. Let's just cut the losses. ZeniMax Online Studios announced the game was also canceled despite Microsoft Gaming. CEO Phil Spencer reportedly being unable to stop playing it in the meeting. I love this. Can't stop playing. I'll use myself as an example. Marvel's Avengers wasn't a very good game. But for me, man, that hooked me. I couldn't stop playing. I have over 1,000 hours. 1,000 hours in that game. Okay? I can't sit here and tell you that it's one of the best games ever created. No, it wasn't. Okay? I couldn't put the controller down because I liked playing that game. So now let's go to Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer reportedly being unable to stop playing in a meeting. How long is a meeting? 30 minutes? An hour? Couldn't stop playing. He was like, yeah, I'm there. Like, they make it sound like the meeting was like 30 hours long, and Phil Spencer was in there for 30 hours playing the game. He's in the meeting. They're trying to talk to him. He wouldn't put the controller down because he couldn't stop playing. He's like, oh, this is pretty good, right? That doesn't make it an amazing game. It's like such a, I don't even know the word. It's a very specific time, right? Unable to put the game down in the meeting. How long is the meeting? 10 minutes? He played a whole 10 minutes of a game, huh? Maybe he couldn't put it down because he was playing the game and going, I like this. Didn't make the cut. Morale across ZeniMax, right, is down, with workers unhappy and confused. That's how it works sometimes, huh? Sometimes the boss of the boss tells you what to do. Nadella's the boss. Phil Spencer's like, it's a good game. Nadella's like, it's costing this much money. Sorry, you got to close them. Okay. Blindsided. They're like, well, this is a good game. It would have been really great. Sorry, you're putting too much money into it. We're not going to get a return on investment. Got to close it down. We're going AI instead. These layoffs reportedly happened as a part of a broader cut of Microsoft for the sake of continued investment in generative AI. So there you go. They're profitable. $5 billion Game Pass is making. And yet, everyone's worried about the games that got canceled. I mean, I would have loved that Transformers game to come out. Guess what? It didn't. Because it didn't make the cut. Maybe it was too much money. Maybe it would have been a fantastic game, but they were like, we're not going to make our money on it. So we got to cut our losses. But these are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe if you like what I do here. Check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Robert Jones says no one talks about it. We heard about it for 6 months straight. Rip Concord. No. The difference, Robert Jones, is that we talked about Concord, but not the company of Concord, not Sony of Concord. There was a couple of articles that said, oh, Sony spent $400 or $250 million on this game, and they purchased this thing. But Concord came and went, right? We, the YouTubers, made content off Concord, but the actual developers, they went unscathed as far as by the media. The media was like, yep, close the studio down. Not about why did they release this game. Roic says, at least you can still play Starfield. I mean, revenue and profits aren't. There's net and gross. Okay? There's net and gross. They are two different things. But the number is still higher, meaning if that number's higher, then they're also making the other number higher. Because they have a consistent amount of money coming in every single month from Game Pass. Waterbear says, no, revenue and profit are not the same thing. Revenue represents the total amount of money the business earns from selling the goods or service before any expenses are subtracted. And he says, profit is the amount of money left over after deducting all expenses. But we don't know any of that, right? So to argue over, we're just talking about what the article says, which they made more revenue than ever before. And you would assume because they also fired more people than ever before, then they made more money than ever before, right? But they also spent $80 billion on AI. Ray says Redfall needed about 6 more months. Needed a year. It needed a year. Warren says, hey, don't you talk about Avengers. I'm allowed to talk about Avengers. I have 1,100 hours in the game. I'm allowed to talk about it. Mo says, I talked about it for 6 months. Not the media. That's correct. That's the difference. The difference that we talk about is when we're talking about, YouTubers make content all the time. We could talk about the same thing. Fuck, I talk about Battlefield 6 for the last 3 years. Okay? But the media doesn't talk about the stuff. Oh, I was responding to Travis. Oh, I know what you're doing. I was also responding to Travis and just saying, just bantering back and forth off of your stuff. That's all. Z says 30. Most that went to my paycheck. Or wait, 30. Most of that went to my paycheck. Not. Are you sure you didn't get the bonus check? It all went to Mo. That's where it's going, Z. All their money went to Mo for all the hashtags he does in all the streams. A lot of people don't understand about business is businesses have a lot of expenses. Businesses are hard to run. Hence why businesses don't give a shit about customers, feelies, or anything like that. They only care about this number going up. They give it the revenue salute. Okay? They need that number to go up. How does that number go up? That number goes up in a bunch of different ways. That number goes up because they're charging more for the product. That number goes up because there's less employees and they're charging more for the product, right? The recurring number, which they love, because think about this. Let's say that Xbox only came out with, let's say, 1 game a month. Actual first-party title, 1 game a month. Now, obviously, that's not happening. But 1 game a month, okay? And 1 game sells 200,000 copies. The next month, the game sells 2 million copies. Then the third month, it makes 10 million copies. But then the fourth month, it only makes 100,000 copies, right? At the end of the year, let's say they tell a combined total of like 50 million copies, right? 50 million copies. And let's say they're all AAA games, right? So they sell 50 million copies divided by $70. That's 714, right? Is that right? $714 million. Right? No, that's wrong. 50 million times 70 is 3.5 billion. Okay? 3.5 billion. Think about that for a second. Okay? Now you have to make a full game and you have to sell that in every single one. One could be a failure, one could be success, one could be whatever. Okay? But now they take an average of 35 million people. 35 million people times an average, let's just say, hold on, 35 million people. Let's say the average is paying $12.50, right? Because some people are paying lower, some people are paying higher. Okay? That's $437 million a month times 12. That equals $5.25 billion. Okay? So now think about this. Some games are selling multi-millions of dollars, and some are selling hundreds of thousands. But every month, Xbox is getting $12.50 on average. Okay, and I lowballed that figure. Okay, 35 million times 12.5, and they're constantly getting that $12.50 every month from 35 million people for 12 months, and that's how they do it. Now, that 12 months, 35 million, it might be 5 million people leave, but 5 new million people come. Okay? And they're constantly making that money, doing nothing. Zero. That's just $5.2 billion coming in, okay, for the year for just charging a service where they can play games. Yeah, Mo, like I said, I'm lowballing it. Just trying to do an example here, right? So what would you rather do? As a company, would you rather try to put a game out every month that has to sell 5 million copies apiece? Or would you rather just put them on Game Pass and have those 35 million people decide if they want to play it or not, and you're still just accruing that $12.50? Argus says successful for a specific company and successful for Xbox. Microsoft ain't the same thing. Sometimes Microsoft still goes to get the shutdown, that business, and they are in the business for money, not compassion. Clip says, yeah, the only thing that we have evidence of was at the court case about Activision/Blizzard at the time of Xbox was making profit. Ron Slusher says, wait, EA doesn't care about your feelings? No, doesn't care about your feelings. Argus says, I remember, Microsoft doesn't need Xbox to be ultra successful for the sake of Microsoft like Sony needs PlayStation. Absolutely, right? Xbox is just a division of the giant beast of Microsoft. PlayStation is a huge part of Sony. Huge part. That's why they still depend on the actual hardware. Ray says, making a game expensive, a studio could spend 20 to 80K janitorial maintenance a year. Make a game for 6 to 8 years, and you spend $500,000 just to keep the office clean. This is $500,000 didn't just go into the game. Right. There's the budget for the expenses for the building and whatnot, right? The electric, the janitorial staff, the office people that don't make the game at all, right? Then there's the game, right? What they paid for the developers and the expenses of the computer, and you have to invest that over time, right? Because if you buy 10 brand new computers, and if you're an accountant, you understand this. I forget what the term is called. My wife does this all the time. It's like if you buy a computer and you write it off as a business write-off, it's the appreciation of it as it goes across the time. Okay, so all that is included into the business. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people just think, oh, I spent this, and they say, oh, I bought the computer, but they don't put the computer towards that. They're like, oh, it's part of the computer. That's why you get a percentage of, like, I work at home, so a percentage of it gets written off my taxes and stuff like that. So a lot of people don't understand that type of stuff. They just see number go up, number go down. There's a lot of stuff they don't talk about. Hence why when we talk about movies and the box office and stuff like that, they're like, they made $1 billion. Yeah, hold on a second. Okay, let's break down what they actually made. Like, people that don't care about numbers like to talk about numbers, but they don't understand the numbers. They just care about what it means. Argus says Microsoft could literally run Xbox to zero profit in the passion product without blinking if they wanted to. Right. Which they do all the time, Argus. Hence why the Zune came out, and like Google makes the Google Glass. They just throw it out there. They're like, oh, yeah, we spent $1 billion on it. It's a toss away. Right? All these companies do that. They're like, yeah, we can make something like that. Sure, let's give it a shot. If it works, it works. So let's shift gears, all right? Let's shift gears a little bit here. And let's go to Netflix and movie industry, okay? I love talking about movies. I love talking about box offices and popularity and just entertainment news type of stuff, right? We usually put this in near the end of the show because a lot of people want to come and watch the video game stuff, but I like to talk about a bunch of different things, okay? I don't know if you guys watched Happy Gilmore 2, but Happy Gilmore 2 secures the biggest U.S. opening weekend of all time for the Netflix film. K-Pop Demon Hunter is now the most popular Netflix animated film of all time, okay? Now, I don't get all caught up on the all-time type of stuff. What I want to know is, okay, what they charge and how many people watch it, okay? Happy Gilmore 2 secured the biggest U.S. weekend at Netflix film for all time, which is huge. Adam Sandler's sequel has secured over 46.7 million views, okay? Now, I don't know if that's counting one household by 4 or if that's counting how many times someone watched the video off of just an individual thing. 46.7 million people, okay? Now, I don't know. What's the average Netflix cost, right? What does Netflix cost? Let me see. Okay, $7.99 to $24.99. So halfway between there, let's just say what? $16? Right? 16, 15? We'll say 15. Cuz premium is 24, but the bottom is 8. So we'll go in the middle, 16. Right? We'll say $16. Okay, so 16, as my voice cracks at 47, right? $16 times 47 million. All right, 47 million. Okay. That's 763. Is that right? 46.7. Or actually, I don't know why I'm doing the point thing. 46.7. That's 4. There it is. Okay. Times 16. Yeah, it's $747 million. Okay. Now, if this went to the movie theaters and people had to go watch Adam Sandler's Happy Gilmore 2, okay, make money. Now, I don't know what Happy Gilmore 1 made. Let's go to Box Office Mojo to see. Okay. I have no idea what it made. Okay. So Happy Gilmore, when it came out, made a domestic of $39 million. Internationally made $2.3 million for a worldwide of $41 million. Right? This was a huge success because why? The budget was $12 million. If you put another $10 million into it, it's 22. It made double that. It made very good money. Netflix now put Happy Gilmore 2 out. It made 46.7 million views. And if you just, the person that, if they don't watch anything else that month, right? Or maybe they didn't have Netflix this month and they got it because of Happy Gilmore 2. They made $747 million just because of Happy Gilmore 2. Right? Again, I don't know if this is 4 per household or whatnot. It says in its first 3 days, which means it had more successful weekend than Sandler's film on the streamer thus far. And that's saying a lot considering that the comic has also made several movies of the studio over the years. But K-Pop Demon Hunters, which was released on June 20th, is the biggest or isn't backing down former of the milestone without the fights of the charts. Right? I heard this is a good thing, too, as well. In fact, the film has also become most watched animated film of all time on Netflix, and that achieved it by the streamer's new viewing peak in the 5th week of its platform. This week is particular for K-Pop Demon Hunters came in with an impressive 26.3 million views, but still significantly shorter than Sandler's latest bring-in on the table. Okay, Happy Gilmore 2 is a long-awaited sequel to the 1996 comedies that follows a wacky hockey player. So just put that in perspective, right? So now Netflix, right? Now think about this as Game Pass, right? This is one of the reasons I brought this up, right? So you get this one thing that people like. That could be, I don't know, the next Fallout game or the next Skyrim game or the next whatever game that Microsoft gets. It could be the next Call of Duty game. Where all of a sudden now you have 46 million people or 35 million people. Give it a shot. Give it a look, right? And they pay for it and say, hey, 30 million people played the game. That's people that bought it. That's people that played it. That's people that played it on Game Pass. And that's what's happening here with Netflix. Netflix, a lot of people are saying Game Pass is Netflix. Well, here it is. Sandler's movie made a crap ton more money, potentially, than the original movie ever made in its entire run, $41 million. This is made based on subscription models based off of $16, has made $747 million if nobody else watches anything else on Netflix for that month, right? Obviously, it doesn't work in a one-to-one comparison. Obviously, I understand that. I'm just trying to show you that how much money one thing can make for one streaming service for that month. And this is why it's very successful. Hence why Xbox and Microsoft said, hey, maybe we should do what Netflix is doing, but for video games. Because you don't need a game to sell 10 million copies when you have 30 million, 40 million. What they want is 100 million, okay? People paying $10 a month. So there's that. Then we have Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige blames MCU's decline on overproduction for the first time ever. Quantity trumped quality, which is the thing of means we're greedy bastards, right? We're greedy bastards, and we try to make the most money as possible doing the least amount of product possible. That's what that's admitting, right? This is his quote. You can read how you want. But for the first time ever, quantity trumped quality. Got to get it out. Got to put it out there. Got to make it. Doesn't matter if it's good. Doesn't matter if it's bad. Let's get shitty writers. Let's get shitty people to make a movie. Let's just throw it out there. It's Marvel. It'll make money. Okay? But they admitted it. Kevin Feige admitted it. For the first time ever, quantity trumped quality. It's been 6 years. 6 years for someone to admit that they were making a shitty product instead of a quality product. It's amazing to me. Okay? Let's see what he actually said, if he actually, right? Because that's the way I translate it. Okay? So the release of Fantastic Four's first step has pushed the MCU into a total of 37 feature films. But it also marks the major break for the franchise, as audiences have wait nearly a whole year for the next MCU film. Well, actually, I think it's Spider-Man comes out next May, right? That's the splitting one, but that's not really connected 100% to this. It'll just be like a little tail end to connect it. The long wait before the release of Spider-Man Brand New Day is part of a Disney hierarchy of plans to reduce the quality of MCU's projects in favor to improve the product of quality. It says, while we're addressing the franchise change direction in the roundtable interview with multiple journalists in Disney headquarters on July 20th, 2025, Kevin Feige admitted that the quality of the MCU films and TV shows had indeed declined after Avengers Endgame. Oh, it's amazing you can say that 6 years after, but when people were calling it out, when there's actually YouTube channels out there calling it out, they're haters. They're racist, they're sexist, they're misogynistic. They're just pointing out that your movie is not as good as it was in the first phases 1, 2, and 3. And there was pushback every single time. Every single time there was pushback that this movie, you guys don't know what you're talking about. Shang-Chi is the greatest movie ever created. Eternals is fantastic. Black Widow's fantastic. And they were all shit. They were all bad products. They were all rushed out. I don't want to say Black Widow was rushed out because that should have been 5 years prior, okay? It took them so long to make it. The quality of the stuff went down because they were just pumping it out. They're like, well, how do we do this? We had Endgame. We made $2 billion, and let's just throw the shit out there, okay? He admitted, for the first time ever, quantity trumped quality. No, not for the first time. For the last 6 years, every movie afterwards, the quantity of you pushing out the movies was shittier than the quality that you were making from the first 12 to 15 years of making all the other ones. Okay. In this interview, Feige addressed the host of issues affecting the MCU, providing insight into the future, including the new 7-year strategic plan set to run until 2032. Kevin Feige confirmed that Disney CEO Bob Iger earliest comments on MCU is set to release fewer films and TV shows each year, and it's addressed to investors in May of 2024 per Variety. Iger confirmed that MCU will reduce the output to 3 feature films a year, with TV shows reducing to just 2. If I'm not mistaken, isn't that what they did before? Minus the two films. Let's look at what years. Hold on a second. Marvel phases 1 through 3. Film release. Let's see. So here we have Iron Man 2008, Incredible Hulk 2008. Then we have Iron Man 2010. Then we have Thor 2011. Then we have Captain America 2011. Then we have Avengers 2012. Then we have Phases 2. Okay. Iron Man 2013. Dark World 2013. Captain America 2014. Guardians of the Galaxy 2014. It's only 2 movies a year. Right? Only 2 movies a year, sometimes more. Okay? They don't even show the whole thing. Only 2 movies every year, right? Let's bring this up. Maybe this is better. Can I not make this bigger? There we go. Yeah. So you got 2008, you got 2010, you got 2014, you got, was this 15? Yeah. May, November, May, July, right? And then you had one in December, right? And then for some odd strange reason, okay, they decided that they wanted to pump out as many as possible and completely dilute what it was. Put out more shows than what they needed to do. But they're like, oh, no, these are great. These are fantastic. This is a fantastic. Right? You guys are just racist. You guys are just sexist. These movies, these things are great. Ironheart is fantastic. It's not bad. Oh, The Marvels is fantastic. You guys are just haters. Like, what are we talking about? We can see that they're trash. We're just telling you, we're giving you constructive criticism on, hey, these are not as good. The CGI is not as good. The story is not as good. Nope, you're just a hater. You're just a hater. Right? I have a video about this. Right? Constructive criticism. Okay? Just bad now. They all lump it all together. You can't give constructive criticism, right? Everything's perfect. Everything's perfect, except when it's not. And now they admit it. Okay. It says, Feige also admitted the decline of witnessed by the MCU after the end of Infinity Saga, which is the largest attributed by the significant increase in the frequency of both TV and film. Shows are also released as opposed to widespread allegations of superhero fatigue. We produced 50 hours of stories between 2007 and 2019. We've had well over 100 hours of stories in the half of that time in Marvel Studios had declared, adding, that's too much. It wouldn't have been too much if you just made quality stuff. No one's saying you can't make more. We're just saying that the stuff that you chose was shitty. You had 50 good hours of film. You had 10 hours of good film out of 100 hours of stuff, right? I said this even when I reviewed the Disney Plus shows years ago, okay? 2020, 2021, right? I said the people that are writing do not have experience. They suck at writing. Get better writers. Did they get better writers? Nope. They just kept getting the same writers that had no experience with comic books, had no experience with superheroes, or had no experience, period. They didn't write movies. They didn't write TV shows. They were like interns that got their job. Feige would also allude to James Gunn's Superman's seeming domestic success with a report of $125 million domestic opening to counter claims that the genre oversaturated the market, asserting that look at Superman is clearly not superhero fatigue, right? According to Feige, the MCU entered a period of trial and error after Avengers Endgame as it expanded into the new projects. How do you screw this up, right? Where's the Blade movie? Where's the Blade movie? I don't know. Where's the X-Men movie? Oh, that'll come later. Don't worry, they're changing that up too. Okay? It says, I've always thought that it was also take success about the experiment with it. Don't take risks with it. Then it's not worth it. We just justify the experimentation on newer projects. Let me read that again. All right? Because this is what he told us. Okay? He says, I've always thought if you take success and don't experiment with it and don't risk it, then it's not worth it. Okay? Great. You took a risk. You made the thing in 2019 with Captain Marvel, and we're like, not good. They're like, money said otherwise because it was sandwiched between Infinity War and Endgame. And then after that, they're like, hey, we're going to do this. And they're like, we don't like that. They're like, you're sexist and racist. We know what we're talking about. Oh, look, it made money. Oh, no, it didn't make money. Well, let's do it again. Oh, that didn't make money either. Well, let's do it again. Oh, that didn't make money either. Oh, Shang-Chi made a crap ton of money. It made like $5 million. Okay, it made like $5 million. Profit. Congratulations. I would love $5 million in anything. Okay, but it didn't work out. And they just kept experimenting. You know why they kept experimenting? Because Endgame brought in $2 billion. That's why they kept experimenting. Okay. The expansion was largely a failure from MCU's perspective, as 7 out of the 15 made after the Infinity Saga, not including just released Fantastic Four First Steps, failed to reach $500 million at the global box office. What they don't tell you is that they didn't make money. Not failed to reach 500. They failed to make money. In order to release, per the numbers, 7 films that failed to gross $500 million at the box office was Black Widow, lost money. Shang-Chi barely made money. Okay. Marvel's Eternals lost money, about $200 million. Ant-Man and the Wasp lost about $300 million. Okay. The Marvels 199 lost about $400 million. Captain America Brave New World lost about $180 million. And Thunderbolts is probably going to lose about $150 million. It's a lot of money. So again, I'm doing rough numbers here, right? Rough numbers. Let's do this, right? So let's say Black Widow lost $200 million. We'll say 200. Shang-Chi made money, so we won't include this one, right? We'll take that one out. Okay. Marvel's Eternals lost about another 200. Okay. Ant-Man and the Quantumania lost about 280 million. The Marvels itself lost about almost 250 to 300 million, so we'll give them 275. Captain America Brave New World lost about 180 million. Okay, and the Thunderbolts is probably going to lose around $150 million. Okay? So the combined total is $1.2 billion. Now, I want you to understand this. $1.2 billion. Fantastic Four, okay, as of right now, probably will not make money. Okay? Fantastic Four, as of right now, will probably not make money. Okay, right now it's at $241 million worldwide. International box office not doing too well for them. Okay, Monday's numbers are at 10 million. Tuesday's at 14. They haven't even shown Wednesdays yet. Okay, they're not doing very good. So it might make 600 million. It might make a profit. If we don't include that, and let's say this breaks even, they have a year to wait for Doomsday. And if Doomsday comes out and their budget's supposed to be like $400 million, so it has to make $1 billion. $1 billion. Okay? Now, we're just talking Marvel. We're not talking Disney. We're just talking Marvel. So it has to make about $1 billion to be successful. Okay? Let's say it makes $2.2 billion. Maybe it's the best Marvel film ever created. They make up for all of the movies, the 7 movies that made them lose money, just for that one movie that comes out, Doomsday. Right? And that's it. And they go, it's a wash. It's a win. We're okay. Now we can do whatever we want again. Right? Now, obviously, that's a hard thing to sell. But in the long run, now let's take it out of Marvel. Let's just go to Disney. The movies that lose money this year, they're going to make back because of Avatar that comes out at the end of this year. It's going to wash all the other movies that didn't make money for them. And they go, look, we're successful. We can just keep doing what we're doing. Because they're profitable, right? They're making money from these things. But Marvel itself is struggling. The brand is being damaged every single time they do something that's not fun, not good, right? So, yeah, they might be losing money here and there and making money there. But in the long run, every time they come out with a movie like this, every time they don't make money, every time it's lackluster appearance for people coming out of their houses to watch the films, they're damaging the brand worse and worse. Okay, the Multiverse Saga, on the other hand, is the MCU's biggest box office in Marvel, which became the first ever film in the franchise that didn't recoup the $270 million production budget at the box office, with disappointing $46 million on opening weekend, $84 million domestic office, and only $199 million grossed worldwide. Okay. Though Feige didn't address the failure of Marvel's directly, he pointed out that releasing too much content put undue pressure on the fans to follow each of the MCU projects. He pointed out that the Thunderbolts, as one victim of the pursuit, saying most fans didn't know who the characters were, most of the TV shows, and the film grossed just $382 million globally, despite relatively favorable reviews. It didn't make money. Okay. However, most would argue that the MCU largely lost connection with its fan base after Avengers Endgame, shelving eagerly awaited content in favor of new, largely unfamiliar characters. Sequels to Spider-Man, No Way Home, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, as well as upcoming films that shelved Blade, were also higher demand in the Marvels, the Thunderbolts. But the latter somehow went up in Feige's pecking order. Okay. Disney also canceled plans for the X-Men film after the merge of the 21st Century Fox, instead of integrating in the mutants sooner. Despite having access to the X-Men since 2019, Feige and co. didn't introduce the mutants in the MCU until 2022, with Patrick Stewart made a cameo in another universe, Professor X, as Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. The surprise success of Deadpool Wolverine may be clear indicator that just how eagerly audiences wanted to see the Fox X-Men in the MCU. Feige has also since confirmed that the X-Men will be a major part of the franchise going forward. Overall, the decision to reduce the frequency of MCU projects will likely boost the earnings per film at the box office for MCU, as long as long waiting periods allow more anticipation. He would be right. In my opinion, he would be right if we were still in phases 1, 2, and 3. Again, 2 movies a year. Okay? And if they're going down to 3 movies a year and or 2 movies or 3 movies and 2 shows or two films and 3 shows, whatever they're doing, right? But the problem between then and now is that, in my opinion, the MCU brand is damaged, massively damaged, right? For their film, for the cinematic universe. Not brand damage as far as no one wants to do anything with Marvel. Like, the brand damage for Marvel for the movies is like, why do I need to go to the movies to watch this? I'll just wait. The last 8 films were just subpar, right? And they think that, oh, well, if we do less, the quality will be better. Perhaps, unless you still have the same people that don't know how to write, the same people that don't know how to direct, the same people that don't understand the heroes, the same thing. If you just keep putting characters in there that no one cares about, then nothing's going to change. It doesn't matter if you put 2 films out or if you put 8 films out. You have to put something out that people actually are interested in. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. What do you think of the MCU? What do you think about Kevin Feige saying that, oh, well, it was the quantity, not the quality, okay? They were saying because they were doing so much, the quality was diminishing, but literally the people that are working on that, the quality of the people that they're hiring is bad, and that's why the product is bad. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of the other videos. Thanks for watching. Jason said he left out his female agenda too. Yeah. Nope, it's just that all lumps into quantity. The quantity over quality. That's part of that, Jason. Argus says correct. Turns out social progressivism is good for getting investments, but not good for business. And the difference between that and being invested in and your business is that you have time to give them investment money back plus more. You also can keep businesses and run money, also doing the things the wrong way. Eclipse says, and do we think that they also will learn anything from this? I doubt it. We'll see. I think my problem is Deadpool and Wolverine, I thought was an okay movie. I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. But I think they learned the wrong lesson from that movie, right? That was a nostalgia berry. Look at us. We got this guy in here. Oh, look, you wanted Blade. We have it. Like, don't get me wrong. They pandered to us and were like, oh, this is exciting, right? Oh, they brought Elektra back and stuff. But if everything's like that, that's going to get old real fast. Real fast, right? We need more than nostalgia berry here and there. We just want good stories, man. We want good stories. Jason says, just to release your 2 Avenger movies, take 5 years to properly plan the next X-Men saga, and then get back on track. They're not gonna. They're gonna do what you said, but they're just not taking 5 years. They're doing it. We're in super motion. Doomsday comes out, and then boom, you're out the gate. What's going on, Dolphin? You thought it was Friday? No. Definitely not Friday. The reason why the movie did so good is because he finally got to see Hugh Jackman in the yellow and blue Wolverine. That's it. Yeah, the nostalgia. Right? They're like, yeah. Right? We like Hugh Jackman. We like X-Men. Oh, we got to see Gambit. We got to see Blade. We got to see, you know what I mean? Ray says, I didn't know Iron Man until the movie. It was just a good movie. This is why we've had a conversation in the past, Ray, that Iron Man's a B-rated character. That's not a diminish for Iron Man. Before the movie came out, Iron Man was this character that people knew about but didn't love by the masses. Okay, it was a very smart move on Marvel's part and Jon Favreau's part because he had a big helping hand on that. Because if they picked a major character to be the first character out the gate to build it, I think it would have wrecked it a little bit. So they took a chance with the B character, okay, and they built it up, and it was just a good movie. And people were like, oh, if this is what they have going, then I'm excited about this, right? I'm excited about this. And the casting was just fantastic. He is Tony Stark. Now, I think they've already made a mistake because you could have made Doctor Doom a completely different actor. And they're like, nah, let's bring Tony. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's bring Robert Downey Jr. back as Doctor Doom. And is he Tony Stark from a different dimension? Is he someone else, right? I think that's the thing that's make or break the movie. If it's done bad, it's gonna make the movie bad. It's gonna hurt the brand even more. If it comes out good and people like the story, they'll be like, this is fantastic. I can't wait to see what happens. But we'll see what happens. Argus says, yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine was fantastic. They stopped being possessive about the dialogue and blood, and they gave us Wolverine costume, massive W. Dolphin says, I'm the only one that thought Gambit in Deadpool was dumb. I liked seeing Gambit, but I don't like Channing Tatum as Gambit. But it is what it is. Argus says, Robert Downey Jr. polarized Iron Man for the mainstream, 100%. I mean, I'm glad we got to see, but I would never want Channing Tatum as Gambit. Yeah, I don't either. It was fun for the movie, but a standalone movie with him, that's going to bomb. That's going to be like Morbius. That's going to be like Madam Web. It's going to be like Kraven Hunter, right? Kraven the Hunter. Like, it's not going to sell well. It's not going to sell well. I can take him as a joke. I can't take him as a whole movie. All right, let's go to Twitter. See what's happening on the Twitter. On the Twitter. Oh, I know he wants it so bad. I mean, I'll tell you what. Kevin Feige just said it. Well, you got to take risks. Go ahead. Take the risk. Put Channing Tatum as Gambit in the new X-Men and see what happens. See what happens. I can tell you what I think is going to happen. I don't know for sure, but I can tell you that it's not going to be successful. You're not going to get $700 million out of Channing Tatum Gambit. You're going to get the diehards go see it the first weekend. It's going to blow up. It's going to make about $122 million, $120 million. People are going to be like, oh my God, it's amazing. And then it's going to drop off the goddamn cliff. Marvel Rivals has started screening your in-game voice chat for moderation purpose to make the game better place for everyone. That's all right. I don't speak in there anyway. I don't talk to anybody in that game. I go in, play the game, and move on. Star Citizen. His accent was terrible. It was atrocious. Personally, I think that's the only thing that Wolverine Origins got good was Gambit was the actual actually not bad. You want to go see Magic Mike 2.0? I don't think I honestly I don't think they would sell very well. When does Mafia Old Country come out? I mean, I'm not going to play it right off the bat, but when does it come out? Soon, right? There's a lot of stuff going on, Argus, where like Xbox is doing the thing now, the people in Australia are doing the thing, YouTube's doing the thing where they want you to like show an ID to watch a video now. And look, like Like, parents need to be parents. The government and the corporations don't need to be parents. If I want my son to watch something, I'll let him watch it. If I don't want him to watch something, I make sure he can't watch it. Right? Like, let parents be parents. But a lot of parents don't want to be parents. They kind of want to just, like, sit down and be left alone, right? They're like, they're fine. Okay? Which is, like, infuriating to me, because then you look at someone else doing something, you're like, I can't believe that happened. Well, where's the parents? Parents need to be parents, man. Parents need to be parents. I don't want YouTube identifying me as I'm going into a club or something, right? If I get ID'd, I'm 47 years old. If I get ID'd because of a video I'm watching, because let's say I watch I don't know, a rerun of DuckTales on YouTube, is it going to identify me as a child? And then when I try to watch another video, it's like, I need to see your ID. Like, the fuck are we talking about? The whole point of YouTube Kids is so your kids can be on YouTube. Once they graduate from that, they go to regular YouTube. It's like back in the day, if they took a magazine that you weren't supposed to see as a kid, right? If your parents didn't want you to find it, they would have put it in a goddamn safe. They would have hid it better. But they're like, Right? If they didn't want you to see it, they would have put it in a room, right? They would have put it in a room where you can't purchase it, but you can get around that, right? You can get around that. You can get around it by just having someone else pick it up for you, of age, right? There's always a way around it. As gamers, we're always going to find a way around the thing. It's just what it is, okay? So when YouTube comes in, or Xbox comes in, or someone comes in and says, "Oh, you can't watch this, you can't see this," don't tell me what I can or can't watch. Right? I'm sorry, if your 10-year-old kid watches something he's not supposed to watch, that's on the parent. And only the parents that don't want to be parents want rules in place because they want parenting to be easier. Well, then you should have wrapped it. You should have wrapped it up. Because if you don't want to be a parent, then you shouldn't have had a kid. Sorry. But I can't hang out with the girls anymore. I can't hang out with my boys anymore. I can't go to the movies anymore. I got to do this. I got to feed it. My God. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand all the people are, you got to protect the kids. You got to protect the kids. Yeah, protect the kids. Be a parent. See what they're watching. See who they play with. See where they go. Don't be a helicopter parent. Just, hey, where you going? Who you playing with? Who you talking to? Right? Hey, make sure you don't do that. And if they do it, guess what? You got to be a parent. You got to punish them. It's amazing. I swear to God, if I have to show an ID to YouTube to watch something, guess what? I'm done watching YouTube. I'll still make content on YouTube, but I'm done watching YouTube. Goodbye, YouTube Premium, right? I don't need to watch YouTube. I'll go watch something else. I'll go play something else. I'll go outside and do gardening. I'll mow the lawn. I'll pave concrete. I'll build something. I don't need it. Gonna ID me for YouTube. There's a rant. There's the rabbit hole. Oh, where I land, I do not know. But can I fall down a rabbit's hole? Argus says, let's be toxic in our video games, for fuck's sake. Literally half the point of online multiplayer gaming, brother. It's time, rite of passage. It's a rite of passage. Dolphin says, co-working talk. All I ever say most of the time is the results of bad parenting. 100%. Parenting? What's that? Orga says, parenting sucks. Take it from me. Eclipse says, I know what you're saying. It's going to be AI, and if it thinks you're acting like a kid, it'll start blocking content from you and get the hell out of here. I'm going to make it put up my ID to see videos. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. If I watch a cartoon and it says, oh, it's a kid, and then all of a sudden I watch political stuff, and then it's like, can I see your ID? No. No, you can't. Argus says, I just playing one of the most controversial songs of all time to my son yesterday, so we could also laugh and meme. Absolute, and he's also 14, being religiously sheltered on his mom. I have no problem if you're in the car and all of a sudden you're playing like an Eminem album, and he's in the back and you listen to it. It's what it is. If a car, like you can't shelter your kids, right? You can never curse in front of your son or daughter in your entire life. You walk outside, you're walking down the street, and all of a sudden they see a homeless person shitting in the street, cursing at somebody. What do you do? What do you do? Sounds very specific, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Because that's happened. That's exactly what's happened. Okay? We were on vacation. We went down somewhere, and all of a sudden a homeless person just came out of nowhere, dropped trowel, took a shit in the middle of the road, cursed up a storm, and walked away. No one asked for my ID then. Nobody asked for my ID then. Nobody told me I had to have a talk afterwards and be like, all right, well, the world's a crazy place. The world's a crazy place. Things are gonna happen. This is why you gotta pay attention. This is why you gotta be aware of your surroundings. Okay? Life lesson right there. Boom. Happened instantaneously. Nobody asked for an ID. Nobody told me, hey, when you walk in this section, you might get harassed by a homeless person. They might shit in the middle of the street. Nobody gave me that warning when I walked down that street. Eclipse says, I have a Rumble account. I'll start using that. Well, if it comes down to it, I'll switch platforms. That's what I'll do. Dolphin says, this is just 30 touches grass and he ends his channel. Everyone goes crazy. But parenting is so hard. I just wanted someone to take care of me when I'm old. All I listen to is rap and hip hop, and all my son's mom listens to is Sabrina Carpenter. Yeah, well, sometimes on what side is junk? You know what I mean? Z says, shit, Mike, I didn't know that was you. Did you have a good vacation? I can imagine street signs for that. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's like everyone wants to like tiptoe around. You gotta protect the kids. Yeah, protect the kids. Yeah, I'm walking hand in hand with my son. You come up to my son and try to do something. You ever see that kid, that a parent, or one of the guys just like arm checked a kid and then see him get his ass kicked? Yeah, that's protecting your kid. Yeah, did you know that was going to happen? No, you didn't know it was going to happen, because what psychopath would punch a little kid in the head? Altern says, isn't it weird how AI is getting better out of it all of a sudden? And we didn't use ID on the internet? Isn't it weird? It's weird. It is very weird, Altern. It is weird. Dolphin says, I saw someone taking a piss while driving 2 days ago. I turned my son and said, did you just see that? as a first grader, he just nodded at me and said, yep. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Dolphin. Like, these people that walk on like these eggshells and stuff, and they're like, oh, we gotta protect the children. Yeah, you want to protect children? How about release the list, right? Release a list. Show us the video if you want to protect kids. Shut up with this protective kids stuff. You don't give two shits. Right? You're looking at something else. Right? The only person that cares about your kid is you. That's it. The only person that cares about your family is you. The real world doesn't exist on the internet. The internet is this like safe haven of stuff. They're like, oh, you gotta protect the people. Like, go outside for a second. That's where the real world is. Where an asshole just cuts in front of you to get to the light faster, almost murders you and your family in the car because he had to get there, and then doesn't go when the light's green. Right? Person crossing the street, okay, minding their own business, and a car just runs the red light. That's the real stuff. Dolphin says, I washed 2 dishes for 2 years to buy an Xbox. Feel my pain. The internet, though, is we gotta protect Timmy. We gotta monitor the voice chat. Oh my God, it's a Mr. Beast video, and he said shit. You're gonna need an ID. Argus says, imagine going through life and the whole thing is PG-13. What a terrible life that would be. I saw rated R shit. I'm not talking about movies, Argus. I saw rated R shit when I was a kid by accident. You could literally scroll through Twitter now. Like right now. This is why I never show Twitter on the thing. You could just scroll through Twitter and see murders happen. Murders happening. Just scrolling through your thing. You're like, hey, look at that puppy. Oh, that's cute. Oh. Well, that didn't turn out what I thought it was going to be. Right? Last night, my wife, I'm scrolling through and there's this horse. Right? The horse, there's nothing bad happens, right? The horse has got like bad legs or whatever. And like the music's happy and whatnot. And my wife's, you know, when you're laying in bed and your wife or girlfriend or whatever is like leaning over and she's watching it with you. Okay. And we're watching the horse. And halfway through the video, she goes, are they going to kill it? And I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? I was like, it's just a horse. It's getting better. They're raising it from a pony to an adult. I would assume that his legs get straightened and he gets to run. And she's like, oh. Well, let's find out. I said, yes, let's find out, shall we? Like, that's how warped our brains are. We're like, oh, it's a horse. Are they going to kill it? I was like, what did you think was going to happen? They were going to shoot it in the head and go, Elmer's glue. Like, what did you think was going to happen? That's what the internet has done to us. You're just scrolling through feed of murders. Argus says, yeah, I look at those murder videos. When they come up, my morbid curiosity gets the better of me. And I watch it to see how it happens because I want to see if there's a way for me to look out for the signals. Totally get it. But then you get fed more of that, right? You get fed more of that. Altern says, man, that turned dark really quick. I mean, that's what happens. That's what happens. It's gonna be a hard segue here. Getting out of this one. Be a hard segue. Dolphin says it's a crapshoot. It's either murder or porn. Or it could be both. No one asked for my ID then. Why do you think my son doesn't have a mobile phone yet? Z says new channel 30s murder feed. I don't even go. You know how they have the tabs, Z, where in Twitter it's for you and then following, and then you can make your thing. I never, ever go to For You, because every time I go to For You, it's nothing for me. It's showing me shit that I don't want to see, all of this other stuff, and I'm like, I don't even follow these people, and yet they just keep feeding me this shit. They're like, this is For You. How I look at my YouTube or my Twitter account is literally video games. Why am I seeing someone die? Who asked for that? Because I used to watch stuff like that when I watched Three Guys and One Hammer. I can't do it anymore. That ruined it for me forever. I don't even know what that is. I'll be honest, I'm a little intrigued by it. I might search it up later, but I don't know if I want to go down that rabbit hole. I don't know if I want to go down that rabbit hole. But a part of me is like, that sounds interesting. Don't do it. Don't do it. Garbage in, garbage out. Yeah. It's like I just want to look up news stories. That's it. Yeah, good luck. No, I'm not going to do it. Maybe. I'm not doing it. Maybe I will. Don't double dare me. Don't double dare me. Don't double dog dare me either. Triple dog. That's it. It's over. All right. That's going to do it. So make sure you go look at some murder feeds on your Twitter account. Make sure you got your ID correct and ready. It's up to date, so when YouTube asks for it. Okay? That's going to do it for us today. We'll be back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, for some Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Sunshine, rise and shine. The daily grind is here on time, with gaming news and fun galore. We'll chat and entertain once more. The coffee's hot, the mic is on. Jump in the chat, let's have some fun. From pixels small to stories grand, we bring the magic to your hand. We're nitty, tune in daily, don't you miss entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases, tips and tricks, the daily grind, your morning fix. Controller ready, headset too, we've got the updates just for you. From late night streams to morning plays, we cover gaming all the ways. Controller ready, headset too, we've got the updates just for you. From late night streams to morning plays, we cover gaming all the ways. Laughs and news, our winning blend, the show with you, our dearest friend. Comments rolling, chats alive, the daily grind, 5-star vibe. Tune in daily, don't you miss entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases, tips and tricks, the daily grind, your morning fix. Good morning, sunshine, rise and shine. The daily grind is here on time, with gaming news and fun galore. We'll chat and entertain once more. The coffee's hot, the mic is on. Jump in the chat, let's have some fun. From pixels small to stories grand, we bring the magic to your hand. Tune in daily, don't you miss entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases, tips and tricks, the daily grind, your morning fix. Come on in, your morning